So, Nikandros with not the part 2 on the NuxTaku video, but with something a little different, where he is talking about his detractors, going after the people who are, shall we say, criticizing him. So we've seen some of the responses, I believe, before in one of my older videos. I think Kirsche had some responses to the Nikandros video. It was about his brain dead, as you would expect from that dumbass white nationalist Asmongold simping ho. NuxTaku's whole response to the Nikandros video was buried in a fucking Hasan bad video. Very fucking shameful and pathetic, but then again, this is fucking NuxTaku we're talking about here, so we should really not be surprised by any of this behavior whatsoever. And I think those are the two main people that we talked about. Oh, Tectone. Tectone's response to it was just like to be honest, just a non-response. He really didn't have a response to the allegations that NuxTaku was basically going through whatsoever, alleged within Nikandros' video. So honestly, for the most part, the responses that from the Asmongold sphere have been extremely fucking pathetic, and have not really done anything at all in order to epically debunk the allegations, honestly, not even really allegations, but the, shall we say, accusations of, and I'll say this, because Nikandros himself does not say that NuxTaku is a groomer. I will fucking say that because, again, if we're talking about EPI, aka early porn introduction, that is something that groomers do to minors in order to groom them for, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be for a sexual encounter or whatever. Grooming is more complicated than that, but people think of it colloquially only in that term in particular. But very, very often, grooming can be for belief in a certain political ideology. Because I've made the argument that I think conservatives groom children into conservative ideology. I do think that, and I will continue to believe that, without like a shadow of a doubt, to be quite honest. And also, if we're talking about a lot of, I guess for lack of a better term, idiot sort of like conservative, maybe not even conservative, but like dumbass, idiot, moron, detractors, especially from like NuxTaku and whatnot, and all the associated morons and sycophants or whatever. We shouldn't really be surprised about the fact that the orbiters around Asmongold have not really had any effective, shall we say, addresses to any of the allegations in particular, right? Yes, you can also groom people into pedophilia, Clay. You're not inaccurate there. A lot of people can be groomed into terrible fucking ideologies and, well, systems and power structures and whatnot. It's not explicit to something to it being fucking sexual, although very often it is associated with that primarily. So, whatever. I'm kind of rambling here a little bit, but here, Nikandros, of course, has created his video, basically addressing the detractors. And he goes through quite a cast of Asmongold orbiter sort of characters, because as expected, most of these guys are not really going to address anything that's being said here, because they are more interested in having their echo chamber of very, very easily impressionable morons to continue their fucking grifts on. That's really about it with like most of these individuals. What do we got here from Nikandros?
It's just, it's an annoying game overall, but
Uh-oh.
You know, what is this? It's got nothing to do with minors being...
Okay, that was good.
What the wow, Jesus Christ. People, like, honestly, like, guys, I'm gonna be real. Like, if you're a content creator, you need to stop interacting with anybody that's under 18. You do.
Based Asmongold. He's correct there. but he still associates with fucking NuxTaku. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Need to stop doing it. It's a massive fucking mistake. You are putting yourself in a bad situation. Stop. Like, do not let the kids. Do not let them on your Discord. Don't let them in your community. Don't do anything. What was supposed to? No, Los Polos didn't do anything, right? Like, this is just some other bullshit.
And yet, when it's someone within his fucking orbit, he immediately fucking just moves on, avoids it, and just does not address it. It's fucking incredible, dude. Should we really be surprised at all that this is the behavior that Asmongold decides to fucking engage in? I for one, am not surprised whatsoever.
Bullshit, right? And yeah, it's a total liability. And if you're not a content creator, I mean, listen, whenever you're a content creator and you have a community, it is just better for everybody that kids are not allowed in it. That's all I'm saying. I think that's very fair.
True.
Welcome. I'm Nikandros. Remember this?
Nux has always been
Tectone.
and I'm a guy who's always going to have the back of my friends. However, I will also be the first guy to hold my friends accountable.
We'll see.
Oh really, Tectone? Because from what I recall correctly, when the Nikandros video initially came out, you tried to do everything possible to throw doubt in the wind of Nikandros' sort of very accurate research and reporting, and decided to do a bunch of sweeping for Taku. Very, very interesting here.
See about that. And what did we see?
Anyways, looked like NuxTaku completely obliterated all of the allegations that were thrown his way in the matter of 5.
Okay, I did pre-watch this, but we also covered this exact fucking clip. It's almost as if I am a luminary.
5 minutes. So that was always really fun. I mean, the amount of people were like, you need to denounce Nux. You need to denounce Nux. I'm good, bro. I love Nux. Straight up. I don't care.
You're not going to weigh the evidence or be transparent with your audience about what the allegations even are. Of course.
Dude, lip filler Tectone. Oh, man. That's fucking good, bro. That's good. Very good.
Of course not. When a Kotaku journalist speculates about Bowser being bisexual, Tectone demands the author to be investigated. And this screams child groomer, not gonna lie. However, when he's asked about his friend's long history of profiting from exposing masses of young children to incredibly obscene content and funneling them to dangerous and barely moderated communities... I don't care. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also must have forgotten that he's a rapist. Why would I reasonably expect anything from him? What does he even mean by Nux?
Yes, yes. Keep calling this obvious rapist a fucking rapist. Fan-fucking-tastic, dude. Jesus Christ. Did Think Before You Sleep also defend NuxTaku? I don't even know if Think Before You Sleep knows who NuxTaku is. I'm gonna be honest.
NuxTaku obliterating the allegations. I've
He
been waiting
didn't.
and I can't see a response from him. Oh wait, I'm blind. There it is.
Yeah, unironically, again, like I mentioned earlier, the only response that Taku had to the response that Nikandros made in that hour-long expose, which surgically and very precisely exposed Taku over here for his actions, and essentially being the prime responsible individual of basically not doing anything about early porn introduction occurring within his fucking private fucking Discord community, because that's what he was doing there essentially, or not in his Discord community, rather in his fucking older YouTube content, and knowingly has seen messages of fucking people within his fucking private Discord, sending messages to Red from Alan fucking Weebus, because that fucking dipshit Romanian, typical dumb fuck Romanian behavior, I should fucking know, I am a Romanian myself, doesn't understand how age of consent laws work.
It is, plain as day. 21 minutes deep into a video called It Backfired. He effing found out. Now that's what I call burying the lead. That's apparently a very common criticism for my video.
I tried starting to watch some of like the shit about what's going on, and I was like, oh, I'm in the car for like an hour and a half, let's throw up.
Yeah, we've seen some of Kirsche's fucking criticisms in response to this. It was about as pathetic as one may expect from this mold-drinking, white nationalist dumbfuck.
On that Nikandros video, I like, the beginning of the video starts out with him just lobbing a ton of insults at Tectone.
Problem?
And I kept having to look back.
If I recall correctly, literally, the beginning of that video. Also, yeah, problem. Good point. Good problem. Who gives a fuck? Fuck Tectone. Also, like, unironically, part of the video, I think that was only like 5 minutes of it or something, was the like talking about, well, the insults on fucking Tectone. But then again, Kirsche's not very bright. She's not really intelligent. It's kind of difficult for her to grasp like rather complex sort of topics. Because again, we're talking about Kirsche here. She's really not very smart. It's very difficult for her to understand complex sort of, well, topics.
Back and I was like, this was a video about Nux, right? Like, what is happening?
That's the first 2 minutes of an 80-minute video.
And so finally, after he finishes berating Tectone,
2 minutes.
he goes into talking about like Nux having weird censored thumbnails that weren't censored.
Yeah, by the way, because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not weird censored fucking thumbnails, you dumbass fucking bitch. Those hexagon censorship that essentially is being put there, that was done by Nikandros himself. Because guess what Nux did? No fucking censorship. There was unironically a fucking thumbnail that fucking NuxTaku decided to put out there with a lolly getting fucking fucked in the ass by a dog. Like, unironic fucking bestiality shit. But, you know, whatever. Kirsche, stupid? Who would have thought?
Enough, and it's like, well, that was a meta on YouTube for a while. I remember a lot of people having like weirdly lewd implication thumbnails.
So again, that was also a thing that NuxTaku made the argument for. Nikandros goes into details about that. Apparently the guy who set the meta for that was NuxTaku himself. And he's admitted to being the guy who set that meta for himself. So, again, Kirsche, are we going to take any responsibility for any of the fucking actions that are being taken by all of the strange collection of freaks that you're deciding to fucking associate with there, bud? Are you going to do that? No, you're not.
I don't, maybe that's bad, I don't know, like...
Yeah, it is bad, dumbass.
The first time thumbnails are brought up is 13 minutes in. After showing NuxTaku describe his past content as him reacting to weird stuff from Japan, I show NuxTaku using a drawing of a fully naked underage girl on his thumbnail. Maybe that's bad, I don't know. You can still...
Yeah, it's kind of bad, Kirsche. You know, a fucking monkey raping a fucking goddamn little girl in a zoo exhibit is kind of bad. Kirsche. That's a bad thing, Kirsche. But then again, this is also the exact same fucking bitch who unironically tried to justify the fucking Great Replacement theory in the dumbest ways fucking possible. Unironically also tried to justify like the murder of fucking George Floyd. Has talked about various white nationalist figures in positive sort of aspects and whatnot. Anything that Kirsche can do is bad. She'll just do it. She doesn't really give a shit. She is a fucking psychotic weirdo.
You'll find it uncensored on his channel, by the way.
And then he's going on about these thumbnails. And then I fell asleep.
And by the way, that was a thumbnail, even as Nikandros himself said within that video. Something that he changed about 3 times.
Are on screen for 17 seconds.
And I feel like if you're making an exposed video and it's supposed to be like, this guy is big bad evil man, here is why, you should put the big bad evil man stuff like in the front. You should front.
Okay, here's the fucking thing for as to why that's a dog shit fucking mentally ill argument here from fucking Kirsche. The purpose of Nikandros' video was that he was building a fucking timeline of events. Right? He was building up to the fact that, yes, NuxTaku, through all of his fucking thumbnails, is doing something called child grooming, Kirsche, in terms of early porn introduction. Now, for those who may not know, early porn introduction is when you are introducing pornographic and highly sexualized fucking concepts to a, well, generally in this case, minor fucking audience, and we know that NuxTaku specifically advertised to minors. We know this. This is something that he himself also has explicitly said that he has done, and that he has constantly fucking done in terms of his fucking content. There's a very, very common pattern of behavior, specifically from Nux, where he has talked about being a dude who has introduced a lot of these fucking goddamn concepts to people. So, again, and him being responsible for the fucking meta that happened that all the other content creators were doing. And him using constant fucking tags in order to draw in a more minor audience and never doing any of the necessary moderation in order to protect said fucking audience. But, you know, we gotta fucking deflect and not really engage with any of the criticisms because, again, well, Nikandros is kind of like gay or something, or he's like a fucking homo queer or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It's fucking dumb, man. We're not dealing with a collection of very, very intelligent people here.
Load it because I shouldn't be falling asleep in the middle of your video if I'm
You were driving, bitch. You shouldn't be falling asleep in general.
Supposed to be gaining pertinent information.
A diabetic coma continues to be the best explanation for what happened here. The previously mentioned 17 seconds are immediately followed up with clips of Nux exhibiting a comic to his audience in which a little girl is raped by a pack of monkeys before a crowd of children.
Well, that was a meta on YouTube for a while.
Before this segment, I established a timeline. NuxTaku was already criticizing the hot tub meta on Twitch before he uploaded this video. So he was
Yes, that was what this was all in reference to, aka the hot tub meta. Which is, again, a stupid fucking argument. Because it just blatantly also shows like NuxTaku's fucking hypocrisy here. Because that's what that means there, Kirsche. Okay, you want like actual examples of fucking hypocritical behavior? There it is, Kirsche. Okay, like listen, let me grab the keys out for you. Let me jingle them a little bit for you. Okay, I'm gonna jingle the keys. That's what actual fucking hypocrisy looks like, right? This motherfucker unironically made his fucking I guess like millions. Thousands of pounds, like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, unironically introducing a bunch of fucking hentai to a bunch of fucking kids, man. That's the problem that people are specifically having with a lot of NuxTaku's behavior. But here's the intrepid Kirsche saying like, yeah, it's just a meta, it's a thing that people did. It's like, really? Huh, that's kind of interesting.
Criticizing a meta on another platform that involves putting soft copy on a 13+ website, while supposedly participating in a meta of regularly publishing incredibly obscene on his channel for a child audience to view. As I established even earlier in the video, NuxTaku currently holds himself out as this voice against degeneracy and hedonism, while totally obfuscating his own past. Not only does he describe his past content in a totally disingenuous manner that downplays
And that's specifically the problem that people are calling out here, Kirsche. People are calling out the fucking hypocrisy. That's what people are fucking having an issue with. So, like, can we have some fucking criticisms for that in particular? No, we're not gonna be doing that. Okay, we're not gonna be doing that. Listen, whatever. Like, this should be the fucking listen. This is the easiest fucking rhetorical win for fucking conservatives. They love doing constant fucking hypocrisy burns at any point in time that they can. But for some reason, they don't want to do it for NuxTaku. Well, that's a little interesting, isn't it, guys?
The severity of his actions. He will delete evidence of his past when it arouses controversy. This is a massive indictment of NuxTaku's character 70 minutes in. Kirsche claims to have watched the video, but still deploys the "he was doing a meta" defense, even though it was debunked in that very video. How did Kirsche comment on Nux sparing his response to me 21 minutes deep into a random Hasan video?
The protocaster, thank you, Nux vid, it backfired. He fucking found out with Hasan thumbnail 22 hours ago. Addressing the allegation starts or 21 minutes in. I do not know if I'm gonna have a chance to get to that stuff today, so that might have to be either on my own time and then I bring up clips and stuff or like whatever.
How utterly convenient there from Kirsche to essentially just be like, oh, you know, I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to address these sort of criticisms here done by fucking NuxTaku, him addressing it at all. It's a little convenient, isn't it, guys? Just a little convenient.
On the weekend, I'm not sure.
No comment on that at all. My video not being adequately front-loaded means it's a nothing burger. But NuxTaku's defense being buried 21 minutes deep into a random Hasan video is nothing to be concerned about, despite it being an obvious sign that he's trying to draw as little attention to it as possible.
Still want Kirsche to check out the Nux vid. It's been too long. Should see them and make up her mind. I have no idea what's going on with Nux, and I have far more important things going on in real life at the moment.
So she's happy to publicly spread
In-fucking-credible, dude. Like, listen, Kirsche, I know that you're brain damaged, right? From the interactions that we've had before. But, like, come on, dude. Like, you're making it a little too obvious that you just don't want to fucking address any of the correct criticisms that people are having of NuxTaku's fucking behavior. Like, come on. Come on, I know that you're very stupid, right? And you drink fucking moldy Arizonas. But come on, you gotta keep up, Kirsche. You gotta keep up.
lies about my video, but she's way too busy to publicly engage with it or with NuxTaku's response. In that segment, I also pointed out that NuxTaku claimed he was going to confront Shadman for making lolly reality comics. That obviously can't be true if he was fine with putting lolly reality comics on his own channel before and after that collab was supposed to happen.
And as Nikandros himself has pointed out in that fucking video, the problem with a lot of NuxTaku's behavior in terms of the Shadman sort of a confrontation is the fact that it's very funny that someone like NuxTaku is going to be the main guy who's going to try to go ahead with a confrontation like that because of the fact that he is rather fucking hypocritical in terms of his sort of engagement with, well, a lot of lolly bestiality thumbnails and artwork on his fucking goddamn YouTube channel. Oh yes, I've interacted with Kirsche before. She is very fucking stupid. She tried to do like a strange hypocrisy burn on me when I brought up to her. I said she was like claiming that Karen Bass is a communist. Karen Bass is not a fucking communist. And apparently the evidence that she had to say that that Karen Bass was a fucking communist was the fact that Karen Bass went on some aid trip to Cuba in 1973. I'm talking about, like, you know, what her policies are, you know, like an actual sort of like political sort of sense and a political fucking debate. She brings up random fucking trip to Cuba that she took back in like 50 fucking years ago. And it's just like, that means she's a communist? Wow, you're fucking stupid, dude. And obviously, all of her like extremely low IQ fucking fans take her side because Kirsche fans are not very bright. They take her fucking side in the whole sort of situation. And obviously, since I'm fucking tiny, I'm not really able to more effectively put up a fucking fight from all the dumb fucks that are all of a sudden in my fucking mentions. Basically, I just muted that shit and moved on with my life because I was just like, I don't care enough about these like fucking morons. Like, they're too stupid to look at objective reality because they're all fucking Kirsche fans. And Kirsche herself is like a brain-dead fucking troglodyte. Yes, yeah, Cuba, yes, a trip to Cuba does not automatically make you a fucking communist. Apparently, the trip to Cuba also coincided with some organization. I don't know if it had, like, associations with the Black Panthers. I didn't really bother or look because, again, it really doesn't fucking matter. Like, she's obviously, in terms of the policy set that she has right now, not a fucking communist, or not even on the left whatsoever. It's just fucking stupid.
Incidentally, Kirsche has her own history with Shadman.
Imagine wanting art of yourself from the man of Shad. You know, I feel like that's when I'll know I've made it as a VTuber.
Very interesting. So, again, listen, we're gonna fucking pull it out. You know what? We're gonna pull it out on these dumbasses. This is incredibly fucking hypocritical here of Kirsche. Very, very, very hypocritical here. Oh, God, fucking, listen, soying out for Nux, all of a sudden, not having problems with fucking Shadman artwork, blah, 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 blah. I believe she's even tried to commission Shadman for fucking artwork as well. It's very, very fucking shameful behavior here from Kirsche. But then again, I would expect no less from this white nationalist grifting dumbass.
I'll have Shadman art, and then life will be complete. I can retire in peace.
For many years, Kirsche would make requests like this of Shadman on Twitter and on streams. In 2023, she learned about Shadman's history of drawing pornographic children, which happened almost 10 years ago and is one of the most infamous things about him, after which she never...
Yes, this is something that's been known like forever ago, how much of a fucking weirdo Shadman is. Not only that he is gross, and unironically draws lolicon pornography of Keemstar's fucking daughter. That's like the most infamous thing that Shadman is known for. And the fact that he also, I don't think he went to prison for that specifically. He went to prison, I think, for an assault. But he also did go to prison, I believe, as well. Those are the things known about Shadman. And apparently there's also reports of people who lived with Shadman who have said that he's a extremely, extremely fucking gross individual to live with. Like, a disgusting, disgusting individual.
said that again.
Moral crusades are moral crusades. It's just like the Twitter freaks virtue signaling. And if there are people like super chatting to Null about how apparently I still like Shadman when I do not, and I have not since I learned about him last year.
The problem is that she did.
I can always see if Shadman is taking commissions. It has always been a dream of mine to have artwork done by the Shadman.
Before the fucking Ava Kris Tyson whole situation, this motherfucker was soying out about wanting to get fucking Shadman artwork. Just... It's poetic. It really is fucking poetic, dude.
by the Shad? Was he in prison for drugs? I mean, Shad is a very controversial figure, but
That's a way to put it.
Was she lying on purpose to get away from the Kris Tyson Shadman-less drama? No.
I would appreciate if you wouldn't repeat that I still like Shadman, because that is patently not true. I have brain damage, so I forget things frequently, and I don't expect anyone who doesn't watch me to believe that.
I think they will.
At the time I made those, I had no idea of Shadman's crimes.
She didn't know about the one crime that he was actually arrested for.
And I admitted that, and I read Null's post, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's very, very convenient that you didn't know about the other crimes, the stuff that he's more sort of infamously known about. Kirsche. Very, very, very fucking convenient. Yes, we don't have to go through the Ava Kris Tyson whole situation. Yes, we know that Shadman has a connection to Ava Kris Tyson. That gets explicitly brought up. Let's just talk about that real quick. A lot of the commentary YouTubers, although a lot of their sort of criticisms of Ava Kris Tyson were pretty fucking bad initially, but they were correct about the associations from about 8 years ago, from a long time ago, of Ava Kris Tyson having associations with Shadman and having gotten artwork from Shadman specifically. Again, for those who do not know, Shadman is let's just say a drawer of some rather lascivious artwork. Stuff that would land you in the Hague.
He seems like a fuck retard, actually. That's kind of disgusting. And then, several months later, I forgot about that and reiterated, oh, you know, I would like Shad meme art. My chat was like, Kirsche, you fucking idiot. He did the thing. And I was like, oh, shit, chat, you're right. He did do the thing. Fuck me. Fuck me, chat, you're right. So, no, I do not wish to have art from Shadman. Then her mods also yelled at her, how could you forget? Look, it happens, man. It happens. I have actual fucking brain damage, and I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Clearly.
But literally, my entire brand is built on trying to be as honest as...
I mean, listen, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. But white nationalists and having brain damage, it's more common than you may think.
Possible.
That's not quite what happened. She did receive a message from a moderator reminding her about Shadman's past. But Kirsche didn't go, oops, I messed up, as she claimed. Instead, she rephrased her wish.
There's a new rumor about Shadman every month. I mean, I don't keep up with it. I just know him as a notorious online internet figure, man. I don't support him, I don't hate him, but like when you're online, if you get Shadman art, you know, you kind of made it.
Very, very convenient there, Kirsche, that you say, oh, you know, I mean, you know, if you get fucking Shadman art, that's how you know you've made it as a content creator. That's how you know you made it as a guy. Getting artwork from one of the most infamous, like, lolly fucking artists, let's just put that kindly, on the fucking goddamn platform. Very convenient.
After the Kris Tyson Shadman drama broke out, she was supposedly horrified to have found out that she was speaking about such a monster in such a casual manner.
Oh,
but
I'm
before,
sure.
when she had the information in her damaged brain, the best she could do was to be neutral. I don't support him, I don't hate him. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it's pretty obvious that Kirsche didn't really care all that much about Shadman's past, until it became a convenient vector to attack Kris Tyson. I might also claim that Kirsche's hesitation to...
That's a fantastic point there by Nikandros, because, again, Kirsche is a fucking transphobe. Because, of course, she's a transphobe. Like every other low IQ fucking right-winger that does suffer from brain damage. At least she admits it, so that's cool. Every right-winger that is transphobic is unironically suffering from some form of fucking brain damage.
condemn Shadman was the result of her pandering to that kind of audience. But fortunately, we know better. She wasn't lying or downplaying her fandom of Shadman. She's got brain damage. Look at the symptoms.
Shad won't draw me because I'm not a mini. He can just make me into a lolly. I've had people make lolly Kirsche before. The world is...
Man, she's desperate to really come up with any excuse to get that fucking Shadman artwork. It's like, dude, like... It's fucking stupid. Yeah, like you're fucking saying there, Armor and Quills. I'm not responsible for my speech. I got brain damage. That's not how that works, dumbass. Unfortunately, if you also have fucking brain damage, you have to still take responsibility for the stuff that you're saying. But then again, we are talking about fucking conservatives here, of course. They have no standards. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, all these people are massive fucking goddamn hypocrites. It's just... very, very fucking pathetic.
sorely lacking Shadman's brand of pure provocateur energy. Reddit will throw a fit when he gets back. I really like Hillary Clinton. I thought that was pretty prime. Can we commission Shad? I don't know if Shad takes commissions, actually. Kirsche is not a fan. What do you mean? I said I don't mind if he draws me. That's perfectly fine. I would love a weird t-shirt like Hillary Clinton.
It's worth noting that whenever she talks about her past impression of Shadman, she doesn't mention that she did know about him being a lolicon artist. But I'm pretty sure this is all explained by her being brain damaged, which she has been for a long time. I mean, look at this reply to Shadman from 2021. She's so confused that she doesn't even know what you do on a bed. They were sleeping.
Kirsche. God, you're so she's really fucking stupid, man.
Silly. If she had prefaced her take on my video by saying she has brain
silly.
damage, I would have been a lot nicer in my tweet. My impression was that she's lying about my video and actively avoiding the subject.
I don't mind if he draws me. That's perfectly fine. I would love a
Thank
weird
you,
t-shirt
YouTube,
like
for
Hillary
doing that.
Clinton.
It's worth noting that whenever she talks about her past impression of Shadman, she doesn't mention that she did know about him being a lolicon artist. But I'm pretty sure this is all explained by her being brain damaged, which she has been for a long time. I mean, look at this reply to Shadman from 2021. She's so confused that she doesn't even know what you do on a bed. They were sleeping. Silly. If she had prefaced her take on my video by saying she has brain damage, I would have been a lot nicer in my tweet. My impression was that she's lying about my
No, Nikandros, you should not be nice to someone like Kirsche. I like, listen, I understand we're trying to be good faith here. Of course. Listen, I don't blame, of course, Nikandros for trying to be good faith. But we're talking about Kirsche here. If Kirsche can have any opportunity to be as bad faith as possible against her fucking detractors, she gladly will be as bad faith as fucking possible. And she is continuing to be consistently fucking bad faith, or just not really understanding any arguments whatsoever, because, well, as she says herself, she is brain damaged, which means she is very stupid.
Video and actively avoiding the subject. She knows that if she has to engage with the video in front of her audience, she either has to condemn NuxTaku and lose that connection, or totally lose her face. If you pretend the video is boring by lying about it, you don't need to do either. However, she isn't satisfied by merely lying about my video. She'll also platform all kinds of random smears about me.
Took him 15 minutes to get to the actual allegation. Nikandros is a lefty furry, and even the commentary community dislikes him. That's funny.
So, by the way, the accusation that quote-unquote Nikandros is a lefty furry, and he's like a gay lefty furry, guess who fucking came up with that one specifically? That was from Tactical fucking Templar. Yeah, from that fucking troglodyte. Which is obviously just like, again, a favored of the right wing. They love engaging in constant thought-terminating cliché to not actually have to try to engage with ideas or subjects that may be potentially contradictory or may bring doubt to their fucking worldview. It's a consistent pattern of behavior from right-wingers.
Funny. I didn't know Jersh followed a furry. It's a weirdo who tried to use pedo allegations at Nux to defend Hasan, shocking his dog. What the fuck?
That's not... at no point in time did Nikandros ever claim that NuxTaku is a pedophile. That's not what it is. You can make the specific, if we're talking specifically about what the video alleges within Nikandros' first video, and if Nikandros ever runs into this video, hello. From what I understand, the allegation that Nikandros is essentially leveling at NuxTaku is the fact that his in the environment that he is essentially trying to facilitate as a content creator with his older content before being the quote-unquote moral crusader that he is now, of course, is that of a rather, shall we say, kindly, a porn-addled, degenerate sort of, like, introductory of a lot of these adult sort of concepts and sort of places to minors, right? And essentially NuxTaku being a vector for early porn introduction specifically. Now, Nikandros himself did not specifically utilize the term early porn introduction. That term comes up later, specifically from Kilotonics' video. Kilotonics is the one who specifically brings up early porn introduction. Of course, that, like I've said before, that being the concept of adult concepts like sexuality being introduced in children's media, in spaces that are not absolutely appropriate whatsoever for these concepts to be introduced, specifically that of course, children.
Do you get a feeling Nikandros is a cloud chaser and a Hasan fan? I wondered why Hasan replied to one of his tweets. I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Anything?
So I'll just add some additional context into that, because Kirsche is lying, of course. What Hasan replied to in terms of Nikandros' tweet was when Nikandros was actually criticizing Hasan for spreading some misinformation by, I believe, I'm really bad with names. I forget the name of the fucking writer. But Hasan was spreading some misinfo about a writer, a liberal, of course, who had some criticisms of Hasan's positions. Hasan spread some misinformation about him. A lot of these commentary guys, including Nikandros, said, hey, I think you're spreading some misinformation here. I don't think that's an accurate sort of statement. And then eventually Hasan did the responsible thing in deleting that statement. I could try to fucking find the tweet. It's not exactly necessary, but that is what it is in reference to, because that was what Hasan replied to specifically.
Thing goes. Who cares? This was her reaction to people telling her about Shadman's past.
For like the 10th time, Shadman actually made art of a real child. That's if he did so. I have to say if he did so, because I have not received any sources. I just have people telling me. I'm not gonna believe without a source. Please give me source. Not gonna believe words without sources, though. That's how I operate. I was like,
Okay, sure. We can find the source. Here, Kirsche, just for you, buddy. Obviously, this is in the Kiwi Farms thread. Kiwi Farms has the actual sort of evidence on there as well. We're obviously not going to put up the actual fucking artwork as well, but this is artwork specifically of Keemstar's daughter that Shadman made. Yes, and obviously he, well, drew her in a fucking sexually compromised fucking position. That's who we're dealing with here. Kirsche?
I want sources, dude.
Kirsche already knew that Shadman was an infamous child illustrator who might still be in prison for something, but she had hopes of receiving some personalized
that should be for his assault, I believe.
As child illustrations from him. So, if you make any claim about him, Kirsche demands to see evidence. However, if you call her a diabetic hog because she demonstrably lied about your work, she'll abandon her principles and lie about you even more.
Not gonna believe words without sources, though. That's how I operate. Literally, my entire brand is built on trying to be as honest as possible.
If she doesn't have that expectation of receiving child cartoon.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, Kirsche, that your whole shtick is trying to be as honest as possible. Sure, buddy, yeah. Yeah, whenever the only time I've interacted with your goofy-looking head ass, you unironically just lied about everything I was fucking saying. But hey, you know, she's, guys, she's the most honest, moral, right-wing fucking VTuber. Okay, bro.
Staying honest becomes impossible.
The Nikandros guy is very clearly a spurg, though. I would not trust anything coming from that guy.
Kirsche is primarily a political commentator. Her reliability is heavily tied to her knowledge of politics. So let's see her grasp on what should be 8th grade civics in the United States.
Oh my god. I forgot that she does fashion herself as a political content creator. Trust me, I've seen enough of Kirsche's analysis to know that motherfucker, she fucking stupid.
People watch our show and they're like, you guys are super political. No, we're not, right? I don't even know what any of this shit means. Like, what does an attorney general do for the United States?
I can answer that question. An attorney general is essentially the federal government's law enforcement officer, for lack of a better term. They, generally speaking, will bring out lawsuits and try to prosecute corruption within the government. They will try to prosecute instances of federal crimes as well. And also, if need be, defend the fucking president from a bunch of fucking bullshit, for lack of a better term, let's just say. I mean, that's certainly what this current fucking DOJ is being used to do. As essentially Trump's personal fucking goddamn attorney.
Anybody? Phoenix?
Sorry, what was the question?
She continues to stay silent for a full minute. Meanwhile, Tectone spins his ignorance about how the government works into a point about how it's difficult to understand on purpose, so that government bureaucrats can get paid for doing nothing.
Seems like the Democrats do.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, the guy all the way on the right, that guy used to be an old side-scroller fucking, content creator. Like, a part of the, Rooster Teeth orbit. And now he's like, the dude hosts like a really just sloppy, shitty, like right-wing podcast. And I mean, it's about what you would expect from, like, individuals like this. Like, just very, very low IQ fucking dreck. Like, it's just very, very dumb.
Things. It's just things that most normal people don't like. And
what?
the Republicans go, we should do something about that. And then they never do.
What stunning insight. The reality about
Nice fucking analysis, Kirsche, you fucking moron. Yeah, is the AG being the head of the US DOJ not common knowledge for adults? Well, listen, here's the thing, Armor and Quills. You are correct in saying that it should be common knowledge for adults. But I've talked about this concept before. You and I both know that civic education and civic nationalism within the United States is absolutely dead. And who killed it? Reagan. Reagan killed it.
these conservative creators in the Asmongold orbit is that they are financially tied to each other. It doesn't matter what I say or how polite I am, they are looking for any excuse not to engage. Honesty and principles don't matter. What matters is playing for your side. Remnant777 learned this lesson the hard way when he called out Leaflit for not taking any accountability for her to...
Hi, Remnant. Now, obviously, Remnant, of course, we've talked about this individual before, who has no idea about what the fuck a goddamn, he has no idea what a fucking grifter is. Now, Remnant is still a stupid fucking right-winger. He's very dumb. He doesn't know what he's talking about most of the time. His media analysis basically boils down to, well, the left basically thinks of media analysis in the way that they just think everything is theirs. And therefore, whoa, crazy. Nothing matters. Who cares? We can just all just lie. Blah, 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 blah. His fucking analysis is really, really bad. We've taken a look at some of the shit that he said. He's very stupid. He also thinks that left-wingers are grifters because they, like, apparently took some money, or rather in, like, the case of Dean Withers. He thinks Dean Withers is a grifter because he did, like, a university program once, like one of those scam university programs, when that's not exactly, because like I said before, there are multiple definitions of what a grifter is, right? There's a grifter in terms of like a financial sense and also an ideological and political sense. If we're talking about grifters in terms of a political sense, then Dean is not really a fucking grifter because he's been consistent in terms of his like liberal sort of progressive beliefs. So you kind of failed there, Remnant. You're gonna have to try a little bit harder than that. And he said that Hasan is a fucking grifter because of the fact that he took a bunch of fucking money from his uncle, and also he's a part of like a rich fucking family, and that's the reasoning for as to why Hasan is a grifter. That also does not really pass up the fucking smell test. Okay, it's just like, okay, you're saying that, but you're not going to talk about how he's been like ideologically inconsistent in terms of any of his beliefs or something. You're just going to say that he's like that he got his start through TYT and his parents are rich. Okay, I mean, like, cool, man. I mean, at the very least, Remnant is getting a healthy dose of fucking reality. And understanding that the environment that he's in terms of this incestuous fucking cycle of like dumbass fucking content creators that he currently finds himself with are giving him a healthy dose of reality for as to how big of grifters they are. Yeah, listen, Armor and Quills, we are talking about Remnant here. The dude basically has no fucking standards or principles or beliefs when it comes to like fucking tribalism. This motherfucker will engage in fucking tribalism and pretend that he's not actually. I mean, it's fucking stupid, but yeah. Rich family, cash from relatives. That would also make Trump a grifter in Remnant's sort of mind, but he doesn't understand that. And also his media analysis is just really bad. He thinks that the left sort of adopts a bunch of like a media critique and positions because for them it's all about an expression of power for them, when that's also just not the fucking case. It's fucking... Yeah, it is that fucking stupid.
Discord server, which had its own share of cute and funny characters on it. For more info on that...
So yes, that was also something that I wanted to go over myself at some point in time. I might still go over some of the stuff about Leaflit's Discord, because Would you believe that Leaflit, who is also another very low IQ VTuber, right-wing VTuber, like, I genuinely do believe, I think that Leaflit is unironically just, like, a little slow. Like, she's very stupid. Who also, unironically, had a fucking Discord server that had a bunch of minors in it, and basically had NSFW fucking sections and adult fucking content in it as well. And apparently, and this is what was said to Mama Octo. Now, for those who may not know about Mama Octo, I believe, is also another VTuber who is just like a drama slop creator, just a slop creator, to be quite honest. But Mama Octo apparently got a message from Leaflit saying the reasoning for as to why she had that in her fucking Discord server is because of the fact that she didn't want a bunch of kids to be introduced to trans ideology or some shit. So it's just like, okay, so you're willing to introduce like NSFW content to a bunch of fucking kids, all because you want to stop them from getting trans or into the trans ideology. Like, okay, bro, it's fucking stupid, man.
That, you can watch these videos, despite making me look like the smelliest Redditor who ever lived. After getting backlash for making his site look bad, both publicly and behind the scenes, Remnant realized what this network actually values, and his opinion on me turned around.
I do appreciate you, by the way, Nikandros. People are hating on you right now. I'm gonna make a public statement right now. You know, screw all the people who just attack individuals they dislike, even though they say the correct thing. I'm flat out, like, I'm very right.
Very interesting. A rare sign of principle from fucking Remnant. Very interesting. He comes out against fucking tribalism. Now, obviously, I still think that Remnant is a fucking complete idiot. His media critique is bad. His criticisms of the left are also bad. He is very, very right-wing, as he himself also claims, even though he pretends not to be, but whatever. This is a rare sign of principle, where he's coming out against the general sort of tribalism of the right. Remnant, I don't know if you know this, buddy, but that's the right to a T, man. Like, if you do not like tribalism within the right, why the fuck are you a right-winger? Whatever, man.
Everybody's accusing Nikandros of being like a left-wing guy. It doesn't matter.
Not.
It doesn't matter if he's
no
right-wing or
evidence
left-wing
of
if he
that.
points out something that's true and needs to be addressed. Period. Golly, you people want to talk the talk of having principles, but you hate to walk to walk. No, that didn't rhyme. You hate to walk the walk.
We obviously don't agree about everything, but from what I've seen, he seems like a very sincere guy with a genuine interest in actual discourse, as opposed to team sports. I don't
Don't 100% agree with that. Really don't 100% agree with that, but at the very least, he was willing to call out the incestuous sort of right-wing culture vulture like behaviors going on with the Asmongold sphere. Because with the Asmongold sphere, it's extremely blatant and obvious what they're all about. There's no beliefs or fucking principles that we're working with here. It's all just like virtue signaling slop nonsense.
have any hard feelings about his initial betrayal of me, and even when he didn't like me, I think the signs of him being a fair guy were there.
Why do you as a Christian promote a server that allows people to post? That acts as a gateway. You're introducing people to it when you promote that server.
What does that have to do with it?
No, he's got a point.
So to correct the record about my leftism and my fandom of Hasan, I don't watch Hasan Piker's content. So if anything, Hasan Piker is a fan of me. You don't need to come up with all these hardship.
Real. Nah, he's he's right there, right? Hasan has watched Nikandros videos on stream. That's crazy.
You've been through. Everyone can already see your life is a struggle. You're not white, and you still can't say the N-word. He's got this other laugh about not buying anything.
That's
Never
true.
gets old. But sure, Kirsche, I've had some interactions with Hasan on social media. I think he forgot to show how I'm wrong, or how I'm a liar. Now, this video is supposed to be about NuxTaku's response, so let's get to that. NuxTaku's strategy is actually not much different from Kirsche's.
Now, anywho, Hasan continues his crash out, this time going after me and everyone else. He goes after a lot of people.
Hasan Piker is coming after you? What has NuxTaku ever done to Hasan Piker to become the target of such aggression?
He's only made like a couple hundred videos on Hasan, mostly because, as Kilotonics himself has said, and as also I myself have said, Hasan probably played a rather direct role in the fact that fucking Mudahar, or we can make the general assumption that Hasan played a rather direct role in the fact that the associations between NuxTaku and Mudahar are no longer sort of there, I suppose, for lack of a better term. You know, post-Nux Clarity video and whatnot.
Only said Hasan's name on his channel 674 times. He also has a playlist with 72 videos, 64 hours of material in total, dedicated to going after Hasan Piker. He's willing to dish out all this shit, even mock Hasan for not daring to mention his name. But when Hasan fires back, NuxTaku is suddenly this innocent little victim. At least he didn't cry on his stream for an hour.
This is a constant fucking line of behavior with fucking conservatives. Every fucking time they dish out all this smoke, you call them out for their dumb fucking behaviors and call them fucking stupid, they always all of a sudden become ooh-woo fucking small beans. I really do despise that behavior, by the way. It's just like, shut the fuck up. You guys are not fucking slick with your ooh-woo small bean fucking goddamn routines. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit, dude. Fuck you, Tectone.
Instead of responding to my video, NuxTaku tries to lump me in with Hasan and leverage the anti-Hasan sentiment of his audience to completely discredit my criticism. However, because of the way Nux responded, I am now also able to leverage the anti-Hasan sentiment of his audience to attack him and discredit him even further.
Ooh. Ooh. Spicy. That's like one of my fucking favorite fucking things to do. Just like completely flip it all on their heads. Ooh, I love that.
If you've seen any amount of NuxTaku's anti-Hasan content, you might be familiar with a certain system.
You all know the Hasan system. Are you familiar with the Hasan system?
I'm gonna keep this in mind. The Hasan system is a concoction of fucking DGD specifically.
Is the Hasan system. The Hasan system is a proven method for handling criticism. Like, you know the Hasan system? Like how Hasan Piker deflects criticism?
What?
The Hasan system! Somebody just posted the Hasan system. I love the Hasan system.
I know you do. We've already seen you deploy 2 of its tactics.
You ignore critics.
I wonder why NuxTaku might like the fucking Hasan system. Oh, it's because you use the exact same system, bitch.
Content to obscure their arguments.
This whole move of lumping me with Hasan is another one of them.
Strawman, attack the mispresent...
That's also another... By the way, another aspect of hide as well is the fact that he will consistently hide a lot of the content that people use to fucking criticize him with. Constantly, and this is even in Nikandros' earlier video. Nikandros will unironically fucking pointed out how NuxTaku deleted a bunch of the fucking videos that maybe potentially too sussy and may have some actual fucking problems in terms of people being able to fucking criticize him. He's very, very weaselly and dishonest.
Presentation by grouping critics with deplorables. Elon Musk he did a Nazi salute. He works for Trump. Trump is basically Orange Hitler. Am I right, guys?
I mean, like, Elon did do a Nazi salute, though. I mean, he did that. I mean, that was on national television, Nux. Okay.
However, some of these apply to Nux's response in multiple ways.
Hi, ignore critics' content to obscure their argument. True, he never reacted to me or anyone that ever criticized him.
He never reacted to me or any...
Fucking... Bro, you hid your fucking response to Nikandros' initial video on you for your early porn introduction, tomfoolery to... in a fucking Hasan bad segment. Now, if I recall correctly, because I said earlier that Nikandros didn't say that, he didn't initially accuse NuxTaku of doing early porn introduction. I believe he edited it later to say that, yes, that is actually what NuxTaku is doing. It is early porn introduction. Probably because, if I were to take a guess, he probably didn't know what the term was earlier. Maybe he got together with like other commentary creators and they sort of told him about NuxTaku's general behavior. It's just small little fucking nitpick there, I guess, for lack of a better term, but, you know, not overall important to the entirety of the, well, segment.
Anyone that ever criticized him.
Recently, someone made a hit piece on me, and it was an hour and a half long, so I didn't watch it, I'll be honest.
Then there is Avoid.
Avoid. Debate only weaker opponents, never the original person. These people never, ever enter a debate.
I think the only person, and we've taken a look at quote-unquote one of the debates that NuxTaku has done, the only person that he has fucking debated on his channel is fucking Tectone. That's it. I think that's like the only guy, specifically, is just Tectone.
Bait at all.
NuxTaku has never debated anyone who isn't his friend or on friendly terms with him. I asked NuxTaku if he wants to talk on Twitter, and he ignored me. It's not very surprising. He has run from conversation.
Okay, listen. Okay, just this one time, I'll be fair to NuxTaku, okay? Just this one tiny bit of charity to NuxTaku. It seems like he's, like, abandoned Twitter ever since 2025 for some reason. So, you know... Wait, when was that actually... that bit there from Nikandros?
With him. I asked NuxTaku if he...
I can't see the fucking date. Was this February 13th of this year? Because I believe that's when the initial Nikandros video came out. Let me double check to make sure. We'll just take a quick look at our boys' video catalog. Yeah, 4 months ago. So technically speaking, NuxTaku is no longer on Twitter. He doesn't engage with the platform anymore. So it makes sense why basically NuxTaku is not addressing Nikandros specifically. In the one tiny bit of charity that I will give NuxTaku, even though he fucking doesn't deserve it whatsoever. Technically speaking, he does not really engage on Twitter anymore.
I asked NuxTaku if he wants to talk on Twitter, and he ignored me. It's not very surprising. He has run from conversations with me and harmful opinions before. The last time he did it, it came with the cost of him losing his spot on the Some Ordinary podcast.
Said you see a dog and the fucking, oh, Jesus Christ. This is simple. Do you feel that NuxTaku is honestly...
So, real quick, this was the thing that eventually led up to the post-Nux Clarity video from Some Ordinary Gamers, aka Mudahar, that eventually just led him to not associate anymore with NuxTaku, right? Now, NuxTaku specifically blames Hasan, and Hasan did partially play a role in terms of NuxTaku losing his fucking spot within the associations that he had with Mudahar. Partially. Because Hasan's sort of reaction to a drama post on Reddit, I believe on LSF, talking about NuxTaku's strange behaviors, for lack of a better term, surfaced on a Hasan video, and that was part of the reason, not the entire reason, but part of the reason for as to why, specifically, Mudahar and I believe Oompaville is the other guy, the other co-host of the Some Ordinary podcast, why they eventually ended up, like, splitting apart. And the post-Nux Clarity video happened, blah, 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 blah. This is a call from ChudLogic, specifically, another drama commentary YouTuber who was talking to Mudahar in a Discord call about NuxTaku's, shall we say, behaviors.
Representing himself in all of this. To you.
On that, no. I mean, I'm looking at that character. I don't know if that's fucking loli or whatever, but it's, I mean, it's like fucking dog having sex with a woman, so it's already way bad for me anyways. It doesn't even have to have the loli connotations. Yeah. I think for him to stay on a show and work with me directly, I'm not even talking about like just scale up here, just with me. He should come and explain these things pretty candidly. And if he can't do that, then I don't think he should be able to work with us in the future. I think that's a pretty fair way to go about it. I haven't seen Harmful Opinions.
Sure. Harmful Opinions made the video. He's the one that's got the more substantive critiques exactly of that. I've just watched his video about it.
He's not willing to answer the critiques.
Harmful Opinions videos on NuxTaku are very, very good. I would recommend them.
I don't think he should be working with us.
I'll expand on that a bit in part 2, but the full story comes later. I don't think name call is even worth addressing. However you might feel about the accuracy of this meme when it's applied to Hasan, if you're going to be using it against him, you can't behave in the same exact way when you yourself are facing criticism. However, I believe we skipped over one of these tactics, which happens to be the one that NuxTaku relies on the most.
That's A, alter in the Hasan system. Drastically misrepresent the opposing view. The new angle that people are...
Oh, fucking NuxTaku loves altering stories all the time. It's a very, very common rhetorical tactic he does. Consistently, because again, well, first off, Nux is an idiot, and he's not very, very bright, and he will basically do everything possible to change a narrative if a narrative is not really going in his fucking way. There's a very, very common line of behavior from NuxTaku.
Are taking is that I was grooming people in a Discord. A lie. I've never groomed anyone ever, and they've never had any evidence of me grooming anyone ever. All right, so it's a lot of implication.
So he's lying here. that is exactly what early porn introduction is. Like, I mean, we can look up the definition of the word. We can do that here. Let's just do that real quick. As per the AAO overview, this is from one of the sources, of course, from the National Institutes of Health, but early porn introduction, or EPI, or exposure to sexually explicit material during childhood or early adolescence, is a growing public health and developmental concern because young brains lack the critical thinking required to process adult concepts. Premature exposure can disrupt a child's understanding of intimacy, impact mental health, and alter sexual baselines. And that's pretty much exactly what NuxTaku did with a lot of his rather fucked up, let's just say, thumbnails and whatnot.
That get thrown out.
Not only did I not accuse him of grooming, I clarified that messages on the Discord about him grooming someone were actually jokes. Plenty of users, including NuxTaku, have also claimed Alan to be underage. Alan is a lolly, no can do. Alan is underage. Does that mean Nux is grooming Alan? What's going on here? I then demonstrated that the Alan in question was actually an adult. These statements about Nux grooming Alan or Nux calling Alan a lolly are simply jokes. Very optically bad jokes, but jokes nonetheless. The Alan I mentioned is, of course, Alan Weebus.
Patrons are invited to the Discord server, where we do things like make fun of Alan Weebus. If you don't know who Alan Weebus is, oh, trust me, $1 to the...
Yeah, aka someone that NuxTaku consistently shouted out in his fucking videos. And that motherfucker right there is the one who did the early porn introduction and other introductions of adult concepts, such as gore and other sort of like pornographic concepts, to a 15-year-old. Yeah. In red. Because, and this is the reason why, he said the age of consent in his country is 15. Now, since we're dealing with a lot of rather unintelligent individuals, of course, Alan, if you ever somehow run into this, that's not how the age of consent jurisdictions will fucking work, you dumbass. If we're talking about specifically within the United States of America, where I believe that Red is living, that was, of course, the person who got groomed by Alan Weebus, then it would be correct to essentially say that you have you would not be prosecuted in the jurisdiction in Romania, which is where the age of consent is 15 within Romania. Let's not get into the reasons why. My country is very fucked up. Thank you. I know. Thank you. But that's not how that works. The jurisdiction would be within the United States of America, and depending on which state is that specifically that Red was living in at the time, it would be that age of consent laws that would be applied. And Armor and Quills, just real quick, any of our resident like Americans in chat, is any state within the Union, are any of them having an age of consent law of about 15 years of age? As far as I can tell, no. For some of them, the lowest is 16, and for most of them, it is 18. Yeah. Not good for Alan.
The Patreon is worth it to meet the guy.
If you didn't see part 1, Alan Weebus was the groomer, as the audience calls him, who was on NuxTaku's Patreon Discord. Alan had many interactions with Nux, and Nux repeatedly endorsed him to his audience, despite them continuously sending gore to the 14-year-old minor, Red, on Nux's Patreon Discord. Alan also encouraged Red to drop out of school, which they eventually did, and cited Alan as inspiration. Alan also instructed them on self-harming, which is what Red used to drop out of school. I don't even call Alan a groomer in the video. I said he engaged in abusive, manipulative, and criminal behavior towards Red, and
I will call Alan a groomer, because that is explicitly grooming behavior. I have no problems. I have no qualms with saying that whatsoever, right? Like, listen, Nikandros is being fair. I don't really fault him at all whatsoever for not calling, you know, Alan Weebus a fucking groomer. But this is explicitly grooming behavior. This is what it is. And again, this is an environment that was facilitated by NuxTaku. It was happening right under his nose, and he took zero responsibility for it.
Showed a message from Red in which he says he doesn't believe Alan had that intention, but his behavior was still inappropriate.
This is the guy that made the video. If you want to watch the full video, you should go watch it, by the way, if you want. If you want to watch an hour and a half of this guy calling me a pedophile with zero evidence that I'm a pedophile, you can watch this video.
Not the
that would be great.
claim that he made, of course.
Go do that. All right, I'm not trying to hide that or anything. Just to be clear, all right? We're not putting it under the rug at all. Absolutely. If you want to go watch it, go watch it.
And listen, I mean, just like, even though Red himself said that that was probably not the intention of what Alan Weebus was doing, which, I mean, okay, sure, fair enough. That was the outcome, right? That ended up being the fucking outcome. He did do that. He absolutely did groom. In a legal definition, in a legal sense, a court of law is not really going to give much of a flying fuck whatsoever. It would make the argument that, yes, he did early porn introduction, early concepts of adult material, and concepts that should not be introduced to a fucking minor. That is absolutely fucking grooming, without a shadow of a fucking doubt.
Will not be spending 4 hours reacting to an hour-and-a-half long video, calling me a pedophile again and again and again for things I've already addressed.
NuxTaku has never previously addressed the state of his communities, and he's never given an honest description of his past content to his audience. He's also never called a pedophile in the video. While I do show him exhibiting very obscene lolicon material on his channel, I mentioned the fact that NuxTaku has consistently denied being into it. There's a difference between—
And here's the thing, that is, again, even though what NuxTaku did there in terms of introducing a lot of, like doing early porn introduction, that's not being a pedophile, technically speaking. But again, as I've expressed myself before, it is certainly fucking groomer behavior. Because that's the thing that groomers do, right? They introduce, again, sexual fucking concepts to a collection of minors. And we know that NuxTaku's audience during that time was mostly fucking minors. From the Reddit, from the Discord, and from a bunch of other different locations, that NuxTaku had a bunch of fucking minors in his audience. And they have all said that, oh, where can we get the fucking sauce, or the source, of course, for a lot of this material? All of this is blocked on my parents' fucking Wi-Fi. Which was also messages that were fucking displayed on part 1, specifically, by Nikandros.
Between waifu and best girl. Waifus are mountable, so therefore the best girl isn't. However, the art of the best girl is lolly inclusive. Nux is using that word in the petite anime character sense, not the cartoon CP sense. Nux's stance on personally not being into lolly hentai has been consistent for years, but it didn't stop him from posting it onto YouTube. Despite having displayed this content in his videos and thumbnails for years, NuxTaku has consistently denied being into it. NuxTaku might have frequently engaged with lolly hentai content, even lolly beast, and he was putting it on his thumbnails as recently as 2022. But using something for clickbait to increase your income is not the same thing as personally enjoying it. You can make assumptions and speculations about why he went with this material specifically, but those are ultimately assumptions.
Money. Obviously, he did it for money.
Just for the hell of it, let's make another argument for why Nux isn't a lolicon. The anime community, which NuxTaku was submerged in for years, is full of people who are openly lolicons, like NuxTaku's friend, Chibi Reviews.
Who he defends.
Feels comfortable, regularly tweeting suggestive images of clearly underage characters. These people are tolerated in these spaces, and there was zero pressure against Nux coming out as a lolicon if he was one. And yet, he didn't. Despite being surrounded by these people, and having pandered to them for years, NuxTaku has never, to my knowledge, said that he's into it.
Alright gamers, the hentai tags tier list.
That is true, by the way. I will... And I don't think I've ever made the claim myself that NuxTaku is a lolicon. I don't think he is a lolicon. We have no reason to assume that he's a lolicon, of course. There's no evidence that's been really presented whatsoever to indicate that he is a lolicon, right? It would not be fair for us to say that he is one, right? However, and it's a big fucking however... him introducing all of those fucking goddamn concepts and explicit material, early porn introduction, that's a differing fucking story. And that is another form of fucking grooming. It is... We can definitely make the argument that NuxTaku is a fucking groomer because of early porn introduction. Because again, a child or a minor, right? And we know that his audience was filled with a bunch of fucking minors, should not be ever introduced to a lot of these adult concepts because it stunts their fucking growth, mentally speaking.
Let's go. Lolly. All right, disgusting. I can't. I hate seeing it everywhere, and it's gross.
This kind of consistency is rare when it comes to Nux. The guy contradicts himself all the time. For a brief moment, let me take you to August of 2024. NuxTaku is finally being pressed about his past content, and he was actually...
So to be clear, this is also incorrect. This is not when I was being pressed for my past content. This was literally a video that I made talking about my 10 years on YouTube because it was like my 10-year YouTube anniversary. Right? This was not like a response to drama video, as far as I remember. Maybe I'm mistaken and I'm thinking of the wrong video, but that's what I thought.
It's not a response, and then all of a sudden it becomes a response.
So as you can see, I addressed many times that I regretted the fact that I would make lewd content and shit back in the...
I don't think Nux knows what words mean.
day, to be honest. And this video was it was like a 10-year anniversary. This was not like some apology, whatever. Anywho.
No, it's not a
the
response
truth about that video and all of the other responses he refers to in the part 2. For now, we are specifically focusing on Nux's claims about the Discord. Red joined the server on September 7th. On day 1, they openly declared themselves to be 14 years old.
I didn't know about this.
In this first screenshot, where Red admits to being 14, NuxTaku is right here. In my video, I show many instances where Nux was present or pinged in close proximity to Red, saying they're a minor, or saying something that would flag them as one. They mention things about their school, their head teacher, and other users also pinged NuxTaku in close proximity to messages where Alan was talking about sending gore to Red. Here's a new close call that I came across. Violet pings NuxTaku. I got proposed by Red. Red ponders if by marrying Violet, they can have her arrested. You can't. I can, but she will be arrested and prosecuted. What?
That's okay. That's not exactly how that works, but whatever. Red's a immature kid at that point in time, and he's saying a bunch of stupid fuck shit. Whatever.
How do you think that would happen? Could it be Red being underage, perhaps? NuxTaku shows up and says, "Go, fanbase."
Yeah, like, again, and that's the main accusation in the first part of the video in terms of the behaviors happening within NuxTaku's private fucking Discord server, right? Is the fact that NuxTaku was certainly aware of the actions of a lot of these people within that fucking Discord who were unironically introducing a lot of these more adult concepts to Red specifically. That's the fucking argument. But again, Nux can't really like deal with that for whatever reason because it would make him look really bad.
Violet responds, "I can't, Nux. It would be against the law." Nux doesn't respond, but he's still present 10 minutes later. This is a totally Looney Tunes level of a lack of awareness, especially when you realize how small the server was. I recently learned about this tool for analyzing Discord exports, and according to it, when Red joined the server, the number of active members was 44, which is an incredibly small number. Here is the server's overall activity, Red's activity, and NuxTaku's activity. NuxTaku's most active months on the server are when the events I covered happened. When we limit the users being analyzed to Red and NuxTaku, we see that according to this definition of a conversation, they participated in 130 conversations with each other. If we include...
Which means Nux is definitely very, very aware of Red's presence because he has interacted with Red before, as has been indicated by Nikandros in Discord calls at the very least. So we know that NuxTaku, at the very, very least, is aware of the fact that Red is a fucking minor. He has to be, unless, again, we're dealing with someone who is just critically, and I mean just absolutely critically fucking unaware.
All users, but limit the time range to the first 3 months when Red was on the server. Red was 2.5 times more active than Nux, and the most active person on the server with the exception of the deleted users, which would include regulars like Zach, Alan, and some other figures who were too obscure to identify. With these filters turned on, the number of conversations that NuxTaku and Red both participated in was 57. If we look at the period between Red joining and when NuxTaku made the
In fact, it looks like Red was probably one of the most frequent posters in that private Discord server.
FW channel for them, Red is still number 2 in terms of activity, and the number of conversations only goes down to 36. I also showed that NuxTaku was in voice chats with Red multiple times. This is merely Red's testimony, but I showed multiple screenshots of interactions on the former voice chat text channel between Red and NuxTaku, which suggest that they were both in the VC at the time. I also showed the screenshot of Red in a VC with Nux. But how can you know that I didn't just censor a random name and avatar? Red actually had a very long nickname at the time, so we don't need to censor these parts. They've also changed their avatar, so we can reveal that too. There are other old screenshots of the server, which show a person with the same nickname suffix and
which is, again, entirely fucking consistent.
Avatar in other VC sessions. This screenshot reveals that they removed the suffix from their nickname in late January 2019. However, they had that nickname as early as December 2018 when they had a different avatar. Here's a new screenshot of a conversation where Red is spamming large text, and Zach posts a screenshot of the conversation. We can see the same nickname here and the earlier avatar, and you can also see that Red was speaking in the VC. There are other screenshots of Red with this nickname and avatar in different VCs.
Is that fucking Hitler? Whatever, dumb fucking Romanian stuff.
User who can be seen at the bottom here, TM Philly, was actually NuxTaku's editor at the time. They haven't said anything indicating they knew Red was a minor, but they were in a couple VCs with them. So if Red being underage would have been a problem, that's a person actually working for NuxTaku at the time who could have known. So Red spoke in VC.
Oopsie. Again. And this is the biggest fucking problem that most people are pointing out and indicating to NuxTaku, but he'll never take responsibility for this whatsoever, is the fact that he was just, like, incredibly irresponsible.
And they were in VCs with NuxTaku multiple times. Despite all of these clear signs, we're supposed to believe that NuxTaku didn't realize that Red was a minor. They would later claim to be 15 multiple times, but as they...
I didn't know about this.
It's a very hard sell.
You didn't know that they were 15 at the time? Stop the fucking cap, Nux. Stop the fucking goddamn cap. Bro, you definitely fucking knew. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit, dude. Unironically, there are multiple instances and messages of fucking Red saying that he was fucking 15 at the time. Whatever. Sure, man.
And you can tell from NuxTaku's desperation that he knows it. Openly stated, they were lying about their age. Red was
so they were lying about their age.
Red lied about being 15 when they were actually 14. Again, everyone on the server knew Red was a minor. What's more likely? That NuxTaku was the
like it doesn't matter, again, if they're 14 or fucking 15, they're still a minor at that time, Nux. That's the problem, Nux. That's what you need to address, Nux. He's never gonna address it.
Out, and he never realized that Red was a minor, or that NuxTaku knew, but he didn't care. It was not an issue. All of the evidence heavily supports the latter option. Now, apparently, I didn't do my due diligence when confirming Red to be 14 because I didn't ask for their ID. I simply did not believe it was necessary. Red had left the server half a decade before I contacted them, and when I asked them if they really were 15 at the time, they recalled being 13 or just having turned 14 when they joined. I mentioned them initially saying...
You also have to ask yourself this question, why the fuck would this kid lie in a fucking... text chat about his fucking age in particular? I don't like, I mean, you could come up with like any reasonings for as to why a kid would lie about particular things, but why would he lie about his age? You have to like ask, like, to get into the fucking Discord server. I mean, he's already in at that point, and there's no age limits on that private Discord server like there was for his public Discord server, so there is that as well. So, like, again, you have to ask yourself this question. It's like, well, I mean, why would he lie at that point when there is no age restriction to begin with? So, like, it doesn't really matter, right?
14 and later on 15. They said they were born in August of 2004, which lines up with them having just turned 14 when they joined. They said they might have been lying about being older because they were embarrassed about how young they were. This lines up with their admission all the way back then that they were not actually 15 years old. If Red being underage was just an elaborate roleplay on the server, it was spotless and coordinated between multiple people in an effort to trick someone who would stumble upon those messages over half a decade later. Some people still demand to see an ID verification, so I asked...
I mean, like, honestly, if that is the case, then I guess kudos, but, like... I'm gonna be honest, I highly doubt it, man. Because, like, why would you do that? Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Asked Red if they were willing to share a photo of their ID with everything but their birth year and month blocked out. They got back to me very quickly with this. There it is. August of 2004. Red was 14 at the time, just like they said, and just like I reported. Will the skeptics now be satisfied, or will they simply move on to the next thing to be...
No.
Skeptical about? Hey, Nikandros knows Photoshop. Nikandros must have Photoshopped this. Well, you caught me this time. Here's the original, and here's the fake.
Man, that's funny. Listen, just like you're saying, Nikandros, we're talking about people here who will never be fucking satisfied because we're dealing with right-wingers, man. They're fucking conspiratorial fucking cranks. They will come up with, like... Because, listen... In a metaphorical sense, and I've said this myself before as well, NuxTaku is absolutely fucking dead to rights. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can really say in order to try to fucking weasel his way out of this one. We're gonna be so fucking for real here. He in a metaphorical sense is absolutely, and I mean absolutely fucking dead to rights. And again, I mean, he'll still try to weasel his way out of this. He'll come up with an excuse. He'll come up with excuses. Because NuxTaku is a grifter. He doesn't actually believe in really much of anything. There's no principles. There's no level that Snux will not fucking stoop to in order to essentially protect himself and his fucking brand. And there is no level that Nux will specifically not go to in order to make sure that he can just continue, well, making the money that he fucking makes. We are dealing with someone who's incredibly fucking weaselly in NuxTaku.
I can show me refreshing the DMs where Red sent me the picture, but maybe Red sent me a fake passport, or maybe I used an alt account to fake these messages.
True,
I didn't.
Maybe it's
this
all
is
fake.
Real. I hope this demonstration shows why I thought that it was worthless to get an ID verification. If you're already skeptical, this isn't going to do anything for you. There is just so much more other evidence which supports Red being underage.
And this is a fantastic point here that's essentially being raised by Nikandros here. Even if you perfectly craft an argument for the fucking right-winger, we're dealing with people who have, fundamentally speaking, no fucking principles whatsoever, right? It doesn't matter what you say to them. They don't care because they're not honest actors. So in reality, there is no point in trying to appeal to the sensibilities of a right-winger or trying to engage in honest debate with them unless they are actually willing to be good faith. And then in that case, are they actually really a fucking right-winger at that point in time? At that point, I'd say no. Because, again, like, if they actually are willing to engage in a sort of honest sort of manner, they would probably learn and understand as to why a lot of the idiotic fucking nonsense they believe in is exactly that, idiotic fucking nonsense. But hey, you know, we are talking about right-wingers here. Right-wingers are never... Very, very rarely are they honest with any of their thoughts and fucking beliefs. It's really fucking annoying, man.
After my video came out, I've been contacted by 3 people who could be seen in the video showing or saying something inappropriate to Red. They all offered an explanation for their actions, and if Red hadn't actually been a minor at the time, pointing it out would be a total exoneration. All of them acknowledged that they knew that at the time, Red was a minor. One of them even emphasized how immature Red was, and how their lack of knowledge about adult matters became a running joke on the server. I want to emphasize that I do not condone any kind of harassment of the individuals whom I feature in my videos. It is entirely possible to do something inappropriate with a minor as a consequence of a lack of thought. If I believe there was anything deeper and
again, this shit was 8 years ago. If I were to take a guess, I mean, this is an environment with a lot of fucking young adults. Young adults will do stupid, immature shit all the fucking time. It happens, blah, 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 blah. I don't think it is, as Nikandros himself is saying, and I wholeheartedly agree with this, going after the people who engage in that behavior with Red is fucking pointless. Like, it doesn't accomplish anything.
Sinister about the actions of these side characters. I would have mentioned that. Red actually defended 2 of them, and believed that the reason for their misbehavior was the environment that NuxTaku had fostered on the server. A lot of these people were also very young adults, and this happened 8 years ago. Later on, I will address why that excuse doesn't fly with NuxTaku. In case you believe I faked all of the logs on the server, or that I took them out of context, I'm not the only one who's seen them. I expected NuxTaku to purge the whole server, so I presented its contents to Nicholas Diorio, Dickers, Quinn Theo, and Samuel.
Now, Nikandros had actually...
Oh no, Nuxy boy. Ooh, you are, in a metaphorical sense, completely dead to fucking rights, buddy. Damn. Nikandros is certainly doing his fucking goddamn homework, making sure that Nux is absolutely, well, dead to fucking rights. So, guys, I mean, listen, if they want to make the claim that Nikandros is fucking lying, I mean, they can, but there's witnesses. Good luck with that, buddy.
Actually reached out to me, and we ended up going through some of these Discord logs where he literally just pulled them up from the server. He didn't have to archive these messages or anything. He could just search them up and find them and show me what he was talking about.
Nikandros pulled a couple of YouTubers aside, myself included, and did about a 30-minute presentation showing me everything from the actual server. So, in an event where this took place, a YouTuber who covered it can turn around and go, no, it's real. I saw it with my own eyes. So I'm lending that credibility now, because I have actually, by his request, recorded our little conversation that we had, the 30-minute presentation, and I recorded that in...
Ooh, good luck with that one, Kirsche, Tectone, and Asmongold, to try to hand wave away the accurate fucking criticisms that Nikandros is going to have. Good luck with that one, bud, because at any point in time, those conversations can be immediately pulled up, and it's going to be rather difficult for you fucking morons in order to hand wave away any of the accurate fucking criticisms and positions that Nikandros is having. My man is certainly doing his fucking homework. He's, Because, listen, we've talked about this before, but since we're dealing with fucking right-wingers here, right-wingers and dishonesty go hand in hand, right? It is not an honest ideology. The thoughts and beliefs of fucking right-wingers is inherently fucking dishonest. So everything that they say has to be either anticipated, recorded, or put down on fucking paper in order to catch them out on the blatant hypocrisies that they will consistently fucking engage in. And Nikandros doing that exactly means that these dudes, in a metaphorical sense, dead to rights.
If it was ever necessary to actually show.
If there was any reason to be skeptical about my presentation of the server's contents, those skeptics could have paid NuxTaku $1 to check for themselves. If they couldn't be bothered to do that, I'd say their critiques are not even worth addressing. For some reason, NuxTaku has decided to block new Patreon members from joining the Discord server.
I wonder why.
I went ahead and I spent $1 on NuxTaku's Patreon. Now, I just did this a moment ago and I ended up screenshotting it. When I tried to connect over to the Discord...
Yeah, the Discord server's fucking nuked. Not a good look there, Nuxy boy. That's a very, very bad look. There is no content on the server. Very interesting, Nux. Very, very, very interesting.
Discord, this is what would happen to my Discord. You find yourself in a strange place, you don't have access to any text channels, or there are none in the server. And there wasn't any new servers showing up in my server list on the left-hand side. So at the bare minimum, false advertising. I did not get Discord access for $1. But that is the Discord access that anybody else was allowed to for just spending $1. An NSFW channel as well as...
By the way, this is also consistent with Nux's behavior in the past as well. He will consistently hide away evidence if the smoke gets a little too hot for him.
A bunch of people being super cool with the fact that you're under the age of 18.
He's also deleted the NSFW channel. If my presentation was a total lie, why would NuxTaku prevent his strongest defenders from doing their own investigation and exonerating him? Fortunately, NuxTaku's attempts to destroy evidence are in vain. Thanks to Jenny Matrix, I have an archive of the server and all of its media files. The NSFW channel included, which is
Oh no! Yikes, Nux! Again, another sort of blow to Groom fucking Taku's behavior, where bro even has an archive as well of the entirety of the server. Dude, Nux, it's fucking over. It's done. Wallahi, you're fucking cooked, little bro. You're done. You are done.
gigabytes. However, that's not the only archive of the server. There are others who managed to export their own versions. In the case of this guy, he dug through the logs and has not disputed Red being a minor. In fact, he documented other users on the server attesting to be minors. Initially, the total number was 7, which then raised to 12, which is very odd for what is supposedly an 18+ Discord.
So, look, man, I don't know how a minor even got into this Discord server, because as I'm sure he mentioned this in the longer video, I'm not trying to say that he tried to slander me on purpose over here, but this was a Patreon server. For those of you that are unaware, Patreon servers are inherently 18+, because...
That's not how that works, Nux. A Patreon server is not inherently 18+. There are stipulations within Patreon itself where they will say that in order to be able to join a fucking Patreon, you need to have, and you are a minor, that means you have to have access or consent from a parental guardian, because it's a contract specifically. They're doing that to make sure that they are not criminally fucking liable, because minors are not allowed to assign contracts, Nux. So, of course, whoa, NuxTaku not understanding how fucking contract law works. So, what? Oh, I for one am completely and utterly shocked. Who would have thought that Nux would not understand how that works? But Nux, they say that not because they're trying to specifically protect you and your dumbass fucking actions. They're doing that because of contract law that exists within, I think Patreon is a company that's based in the United States of America, and they have strict laws in terms of contract law.
If you want to become a patron, if you want to join a creator's membership as a patron, or provide membership as a creator, you must be at least 18 years old, or have permission from parent or guardian, alright? Quite literally, that obviously didn't happen. This was inherently an 18+ Discord server. So if someone lied or stole their mom's credit card, or their mom let their kid join a Discord server from a guy that was making more, adult-focused content on my YouTube channel,
Okay, first off, this is a deflection here specifically from Nux, because he's trying to deflect away from the fact that he absolutely did the fucking impropriety, the fucking bullshit that he's being accused of. So Nux is immediately pulling out a bunch of fucking cope excuses. Should we really be surprised about this? This is NuxTaku. He loves to fucking cope. Nux, that's not how any of that fucking works, you dumbass, right? It is, again, what if, let's say, hypothetically speaking, okay, this should be an easy one, okay? This is a real easy hypothetical. What if the kid just fucking lies to their parents? Right? They could just lie about the type of content that you create. That's a thing that happens all the fucking goddamn time. Like, how the fuck do you know that? Yeah, adult-focused content on my YouTube channel. Wonder if he'll expound on that? I don't think he will, Armor and Quills, because again, Nux is not honest. Nux, why the fuck would a minor ever say to their parents about the type of content that they're trying to engage in with, right? Like, they could just be fucking lying, right? And not being honest with the fucking parents. That's a thing that happens all the time, which is why constantly shifting blame only on the parents is not fucking honest at all whatsoever, right? It is a three-pronged sort of protection system. There has to be responsibility, of course, on the parents, right? But it's not only on the parents that it's necessary. There also has to be responsibility on the creator themselves. There also has to be responsibility on the platform. And also there has to be responsibility from the parents as well, right? It's a three-pronged sort of system that we're operating here, Nux. And guess what? You're supposed to have some kind of fucking responsibility there, buddy. But you're deciding to refuse to take any of that responsibility. I wonder why. That's why.
That is the parents' fault.
There's a lot of claims being made there, so let's go one by one.
Well, like I said, and listen, Armor and Quills, I don't know if you've seen Nikandros' part 1. It's because he was making a lot of money from it. Yeah, he was making a lot of money from it.
First of all, how could a child get into the server? If you saw my video, you might remember a mention of the server getting raided several times. The users doing these raids did not pay through Patreon to get onto the Discord. They got into an invite link. Yes, you heard that right. NuxTaku did not know how to prevent users from creating invite links to the server.
Oh my fucking god, Nux, it's like literally 3 clicks on fucking Discord, you dumbass. Quick reminder, of course, like, we are dealing with NuxTaku here. NuxTaku is a massive fucking idiot, man. Jesus Christ, Nux, man. He really does everything possible in order to shoot himself in the metaphorical foot, doesn't he?
Fixing this issue takes seconds, and the moderators of the server, who did not have proper permissions to fix that issue, tried to tell NuxTaku to fix it, but they were ignored for months. NuxTaku even shared the Patreon Discord invite link by mistake in a YouTube community post, allowing a bunch of people to...
God, Nux, you're so fucking stupid, man. God, it literally takes fucking 3... Nux, if you didn't know how to fucking do it, you could have just Googled it, man. I don't know, bro. He's very stupid.
Join in without paying through Patreon. That means the server's user base was contaminated with people who were not age verified, and they had the ability to create more invite links and share them to other users. Patreon Discords are also absolutely not inherently 18+.
For those of you who are unaware, Patreon servers are inherently 18+, because if you want to become a patron...
Damn, I didn't know that within your server's TOS, Nux, that there was a sort of a rule that stipulates that it is inherently fucking 18+. That's news to me there, Nux. Now, obviously, I'm saying this all rather surreptitiously, of course. We know that NuxTaku is obviously fucking lying here. Like, he's full of it, obviously. But, like, yeah, Nux. Like, a Patreon fucking Discord is inherently 18+ because you have to be 18+ in order to sign up for fucking Patreon. Like, okay, bro, like... Nice meme, bro.
If you want to join a creator's membership as a patron, or provide membership as a creator, you must be at least 18 years old, or have permission from parent or guardian.
It says right there that they welcome 13+ members. It is not an adults-only platform. Some Patreons are 18+, some are 13+. NuxTaku's Patreon was not 18+, and it did not have an 18+ rule. The NSFW channel existed for over a year before any rules were added. The ones that currently exist still do not mention anything about the server being 18+. When NuxTaku would plug the Patreon Discord in his videos, which he did around 68 times, he did not mention it being 18+ even once. If the server was clearly 18+ from the beginning, why did none of the other adult members report red to NuxTaku when they knew that they're a minor? As Harmful Opinions points out in his video...
That's a good question, right? Like, there should be some kind of responsibility for this in particular, right? You would have to think. Oh, it's because it was never stipulated on the Discord itself that it was meant to be an 18+ environment. That's why. Because, again, Nux did not... It's because he's irresponsible.
Several of the moderators who were added later acknowledged that children were present on the Discord, and even said they won't take responsibility if they access the NSFW channel.
There is a note here saying absolutely nothing from minors, by the way. No personal nudes, no content of minors, content depicting minors, content made by minors, none of that shit, alright? Just to be clear.
The NSFW channel did...
Again, this doesn't fucking matter, dude. Like, it's stupid. Then you should, again, restrict access to fucking minors from being able to join the fucking Discord server, but whatever.
Not have these rules on it at the time either. They were added way later. NuxTaku also claimed.
That is also a good point. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that fucking... those rules got added later on the fucking private Patreon Discord. I think also on his public Discord server as well. It originally had an NSFW section, but it got removed about a week later. Now, you may be wondering, well, Daho, why did he remove that? That seems like, you know, a principled stance from Nux. The only reason why Nux decided to remove the NSFW section on his public fucking Discord server is for one reason and one reason only, because he wanted fucking Discord partnership.
that he was creating more adult-oriented content at the time, but that's total bullshit. Again, the stuff with Red and Alan happened in 2018, when NuxTaku was still an anime YouTuber. The pivot to hentai content began in August of 2019. Even past that point, NuxTaku had a disclaimer in his video descriptions stating that his entire channel was PG-13. This disclaimer was also on the monkey comic video. When it comes to Nux trying to algorithmically target his
and not to mention every other fucking goddamn video that he also has created as well. Monkey comic video, and every other fucking goddamn video this motherfucker has. Again, we're dealing with someone who's incredibly dishonest here.
To a young audience, we actually have some data here, which has been gathered and visualized by Jenny Matrix. If we scan NuxTaku's video metadata for mentions of YouTubers that are popular with children, like MatPat, MrBeast, PewDiePie, and so on, we can see that even after the pivot to hentai content, NuxTaku was regularly using these creators' names in his tags. Now, I want to note that this stuff is a little bit work in progress. I can't remember why I asked Jenny to exclude MrBeast from the rest of these, but when we don't, we can see that when the monkey comic video was published, over 60% of Nux's videos that month had a kids YouTuber tagged on it, and for the next 6 months, it was 100%. Here is a graph for kids franchises. Here is a graph for NSFW terms.
So this is, of course, NuxTaku being incredibly dishonest. Well, who would have fucking thought? Yeah, if I were to make an assumption, okay, I'm making an assumption, Andy over here. Well, the reason why specifically NuxTaku is doing this is because of the fact that he wants to have as large of a fucking audience as possible, so he can make a bunch of goddamn money. Yeah, it's all for the Benjamins with this motherfucker.
And here are the same for the Nuxanor channel, kids YouTubers, kids franchises, and NSFW terms. On this graph especially, you can notice how he slowly tones it down as it stops working as a meta. He's used the NuxTaku MrBeast tag on his videos 648 times. If you look at this video, for example, I hosted the world's most legendary Rule 34 tournament. We have tags like NuxTaku MrBeast, MrBeast, MrBeast $1,000, MrBeast Tournament, Pokemon Rule 34, NuxTaku MrBeast, and of course, Shaden Animations Rule 34. What can we see in the description? This video is PG-13. So even after NuxTaku stopped doing anime content, he was still trying to reach a young audience.
Again, obviously, as we all know, since we are competent adults here, Rule 34 is absolutely not a fucking thing for kids to engage with. Obviously, that is explicitly a website where even it itself fucking stipulates that if a thing exists, there's porn of it. Obviously, kids should not be fucking engaging with porn of their favorite and loved fucking cartoon characters, but that's always been a consistent staple of Nux's content.
Audience. In 2018, when he was an anime creator, the entry fee to his Patreon Discord was a one-time payment of $1. He was not an 18+ creator. The plugs didn't mention it being 18+, and the server didn't mention it being 18+. It was not an 18+ Discord in any way, but NuxTaku claims that it was because the Patreon terms of service says you need to be 18 or have parental consent to place pledges. So if a child gets groomed on his Patreon Discord server,
that is the parents' fault.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the big one. The dragon. It's the parents' fault. It's the parents.
Yes, and this is a constant fucking pattern of behavior that a lot of these motherfuckers will employ all the fucking time. Now, there can be an argument, Tad, to say that, yes, sometimes it is the parents' fault, depending on the fucking context. In this particular context, that's a bunch of fucking hooey. It's nonsense. And the reason why it is not the parents' fault in this particular sense, in this context, of course, is for one reason and one reason only. Because, again, NuxTaku made it very, very clear that his content is to be approached and sort of engaged with... Well, children are supposed to be engaging and approaching his fucking content, right? There's a consistent pattern of behavior with Nux, right? He is a dishonest actor when we're talking about his behaviors with... hentai content and LMAO content on his fucking goddamn channel, right? Very, very fucking dishonest, Weasley behavior here from fucking Nux. But then again, this is a motherfucker who has, like, no standards in terms of fucking creation whatsoever. He will consistently lie, he'll grift, it doesn't matter. He's a fucking charlatan and a liar, obviously. But the thing is, Nux, the reason for as to why you're supposed to be the one taking responsibility here is because, again, you are the one who have set the tags of a lot of those videos to that of, again, PG, of it being fucking PG-13. You are the one who has also set a lot of the sort of like thumbnails and also, I was going to say like contexts, but also not only like the thumbnails, but also the titles of the videos to be very, very sort of kid-friendly and kid-approachable. Because, again, YouTube, very often in terms of its algorithm, especially at that time, was very, very, very favorable to kid fucking content creators. That is why he fucking did that. Because again, let's never forget, the reason why NuxTaku did all this fucking behavior is because of the fact that he was making a bunch of money doing it. That's why.
Parents' responsibility. Parents need to stop being lazy and look after their children. Oh hey, it's Leaflit, another right-wing VTuber in the Asmongold orbit who defended NuxTaku with the same rhetoric.
You know who's at fault? You know who has a lot of the blame here? Fucking parents.
Of course.
Parents need to take care of their kids. Because how are their kids getting online looking at 18+ content? How is that possible?
How is that possible?
I don't know.
Because you yourself don't fucking take any responsibility, Leaflit, because you're a fucking idiot, bro. Like, you're a very, very stupid individual.
Leaflit, why don't you tell us?
When I was a kid, they took away my internet because, you know what I did? I went and I signed up for those free internet providers. I went to freaking Radio Shack, I bought a cable, and I ran it all the way across the room, hooked it up to my Dreamcast, and I was still online.
Oh, wow, Leaflit, describing to a kid how they used to do it back in the ye olden days of early 2000s in order to get online access without their fucking parents knowing, in order to get access to, like, some potentially sussy fucking adult content that they can accidentally fucking run into. Very, very, very fucking cool. Yes, it's a good point there, Armor and Quills, you're correct. Also worth mentioning that grooming is a literal crime in most jurisdictions. Nikandros himself also brings that up, and therefore parents cannot consent to it. Exactly.
Get fucked, parents.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like they can't.
Very irresponsible behavior there, Leaflit.
I hid the cable like under the bed, but they're not gonna know, right?
They're not gonna know, right?
And I'll just get up like late at night, 2 a.m. Phantasy Star Online time. Plug it out. Okay, everyone's a bit.
In-fucking-credible. Hey, Leaflit, I guess you are just a fucking secret groomer now or some shit. Oh, man, dude. God. I've said before, Leaflit is, like, this motherfucker is extremely fucking stupid. But here is her unironically admitting how a kid could potentially get around, parental fucking restrictions in order to get online and see potential content that is not meant for them to see. Incredible, dude. Very fucking stupid.
In bed, open the door. Okay, everyone's asleep. Plug it all in, get ready. Now I'm playing Phantasy Star Online at 2 a.m. You can't stop it.
You can't stop.
When Leaflit is talking about ID verification on Discord, it is impossible for parents to stop their children from getting online. They're not going to know what their kids are doing, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. When she defends NuxTaku 12 days later, she suddenly fails to grasp how parents aren't able to do what she previously claimed to be impossible.
How are their kids getting online looking at 18+ content? How is that possible?
You sneaky bitch.
If something bad had happened to Leaflit when she was accessing the internet without her parents' knowledge, whose fault would it be? Would it make Leaflit's parents bad parents?
It would be Leaflit in this particular instance because of the fact that she's going around her fucking parents and accessing a lot of this fucking content. It would be Leaflit's fault in this particular instance because, again, there is a responsibility for all of the fucking goddamn people in this fucking relationship because you're the one, Leaflit, who just admitted to lying to her fucking goddamn parents, getting access to potentially fucking online content, which may have, who knows what it may have. It could fucking have adult content in there or something. Who knows? But whatever. We're talking about Leaflit here. She's an idiot.
Were they lazy? What exactly were they supposed to do? Watch her 24/7? Install a surveillance camera in their teenage daughter's room? Shackle her to the bed at night? That sounds very abusive. Parents obviously shouldn't expect strangers on the internet to protect their children, and they don't. In most cases, the parents don't know that their children are using these services because their child is hiding it from them. Parents should supervise their children, but even with ideal parents, which very few children...
By the way, this is also the exact same thing that I mentioned earlier. There is no parent that's going to be ideal. Kids are just going to hide things from their parents, and Leaflit, you unironically just admitted to, you hiding a fucking cable from your parents in order to be able to go play Phantasy Star Online at 2 in the fucking goddamn morning. Very, very cool.
Have. Perfect supervision is not always possible. That's why we as adults have a shared duty to protect children. As I said in my video, parents do have the primary responsibility to protect their children. But that responsibility isn't on them alone. If you're publishing content on a 13+ website, the creators, the parents, and the platform have a shared responsibility.
This is also the exact same thing I mentioned to myself as well. Again, parents are the ones who are supposed to be mainly responsible, but it is a shared responsibility. Everyone has responsibility. Not only just the fucking kids, not only just the fucking parents, everybody is supposed to be responsible.
responsibility to protect the children using that site from being exposed to harmful content. Similarly, if you're running a Discord server, you're responsible for what you, or people you've designated as moderators, allow to happen on it. If you allow people to do whatever they want on your server and violate Discord rules, you're still getting banned because it was your responsibility to make sure that those rules were being followed. Banning minors from your 18+ communities and being aware of the fact that kids can lie about being adults is not the same thing as babysitting someone else's children. There are times when you can say, parents' fault, or more preferably, there was nothing I could do. If you're making 18+ content on an 18+ website and a child is watching your 18+ videos...
Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't YouTube have parental control features built into their webpage to give parents control over what they can access? Yes, they most certainly do, Clay. In fact, there are quite extensive options that YouTube has on offer to give parents control to be able to allow their kids to see certain fucking kinds of content, right? And I believe even Mudahar himself was talking about how his aunt is like got metaphorical like North Korea going on in terms of the sort of surveillance that she has of the fucking children that she has in terms of what they engage with on fucking YouTube, right? Making like a whole like North Korea joke about it.
Without your knowledge, unless you're advertising your content on a 13+ platform, there's not really anything you can do. You have done your due diligence. If a child sneaks into an 18+ community, no one knew they were a minor, the moderators are putting in a good faith effort to prevent children from joining, and you don't have a porn channel because you know that some minors can slip through, that's also when you can say, there was nothing I could do. I'm not asking for omnipotence here. It's really simple.
But again, the thing is that NuxTaku has been absolutely fucking neglectful. That's the fucking criticism that everyone is having of NuxTaku. The fact that he is showing absolute fucking neglect. Yes, I do believe Twitch has some parental control. I have to double check on that one, Clay, but I think they have some. I think so. I'd have to check.
Community is not appropriate for minors, make a reasonable effort to keep them out. You don't need to adopt them and parent them, give them an allowance and do their homework, just ban them from your server. That's the beginning and the end of your duty of care towards them. The ironic thing about Leaflit bringing up parental responsibility is that the minors on her Discord server hadn't slipped past moderation, they were explicitly allowed.
They used to get rid of any kids they knew about. So this is originally an 18+ server that at some point they decided to open up to kids. I don't know when exactly or why, and my obvious suggestion is to go back to that. I don't think that's too crazy or evil.
So I know why.
At all.
Leaflit told me. And I don't necessarily agree with this opinion. This is just what she told me the mindset was. They don't want kids to go to...
So keep in mind, this is Mama Octo, this is Mizu Tamari, and I think this is Espiritu. I think.
Discord servers that like would be full of trans individuals and trans ideologies, and they would like to educate kids better.
And what exactly was the outcome?
In-fucking-credible. So in reality, the reason for as to why Leaflit decided to fucking open up her fucking Discord server to a bunch of minors is so she can politically groom them. In-fucking-credible. Ooh, what a weaselly little fucking hypocrite. Because guess what, Leaflit? The only form of grooming is not fucking sexualized grooming. There's also political fucking grooming. Because Leaflit, are you a fucking educator? Do you know anything about fucking trans individuals? At all? Whatsoever? No, the fuck you do not. You have no idea what you're talking about. You did a 4-hour debate with Niara where you made yourself look absolutely ridiculous in the debate that you had with her, and had such a fundamental lack of basic knowledge of trans people and trans issues during the entirety of that debate. So why am I not surprised that fucking Leaflit is also deciding to engage in the exact same fucking political grooming project that every fucking right-winger is engaging with? Very, very dishonest there, Leaflit.
Minors talking about what they're into, including a 15-year-old talking about being into femboys and being sent thigh pics by an adult user who wasn't banned until harmful opinions drew attention to it. So while you should keep kids out of your 18+ communities, please do not try to protect and educate random kids on the internet. It is not your job.
Yeah, Leaflit, you're a incredibly low IQ, dumb fucking right-wing VTuber. You do not know how to educate people. I pretend to, I have way more fucking knowledge in terms of political topics and all of these very difficult subjects that I talk about. I certainly have more knowledge. I don't pretend to be a fucking educator in any of that. Why? Because I don't have that fucking credentials. I don't have that fucking sort of credibility to say that, yeah, I'm a political educator. I'm educated in all of this. I'm a political scientist. No, the fuck I'm not. I often say that I'm a STEM nerd, and not everything that I say should be absolutely taken at sort of face value. I welcome fucking criticisms all the time. The problem is that a lot of the people who fucking generally criticize me do a really, really fucking bad job at it. And so I fucking shit on them for being terrible at fucking criticisms. So, Leaflit, because of how much of a fucking dumbass that you are, your fucking goofy-looking head ass is absolutely not a fucking educator. I never pretend to be like a fucking educator. I've never pretended to be like the moral fucking arbiter in terms of like political discourse or whatever. I say that I'm quite knowledgeable. I have a lot of not political acumen. I don't work within politics or whatever, but I've done a lot of looking into a lot of these topics for the latter part of about 7 fucking years at this point in time. 8, approaching on 8 years. And I constantly encourage fucking criticisms all the time. Problem is, most people don't tend to criticize me very well. They tend to be really fucking bad at it. So I shit on them, of course. Leaflit, you're a fucking idiot who barely understands any fucking, like, topics that she even sort of decides to approach and broach whatsoever. You're just a fucking idiot, dude. Like, you are an incredibly, incredibly unintelligent fucking moron who apparently also had a Discord server where you were being highly fucking irresponsible with the individuals that you were being that you had on there who were also engaging in grooming behaviors. Like, again, you yourself have been doing. There are, like I've said earlier in this fucking video, there are multiple forms of fucking grooming. Very often, grooming is seen in a sexual connotation, in a sexual sense. But that's not the only form of grooming. Not the only one, right? There is also political fucking grooming. And that is a form of grooming that conservatives engage in consistently. Consistently. And I've talked about this concept before. Because conservatives know that their ideology is really bad and falls apart under even the most basic of fucking scrutiny. They have to do everything possible, and I mean everything possible, in order to get at the fucking kids young. So, I'm just gonna say here, that sounds a lot like grooming to me. Conservatives? Why do you have to keep constantly grooming kids into your fucking depraved fucking ideology? I wonder why that's the case. But whatever. Yeah, train up a child in the way they should go, and they should, and they will never part from it. That's true, Armor and Quills. I don't remember who fucking said that quote specifically, but I can only assume it was probably some fucking fascist.
If you notice they have some issues, you can tell them to talk with their school counselor or seek some other professional help. But do not become the counselor. You are a random adult stranger on the internet. Even if you have good intentions, you are teaching that kid that they can trust random adult strangers on the internet. That's not a...
She does not have good intentions, obviously.
Good thing. NuxTaku's defense was a bit more complicated and dumber than just saying parents' fault. According to the Patreon terms of service, Red must have had parental consent to join Nux's Patreon, so the parents must have consented to everything.
Michael Pearl, an evangelical counselor, was the one who said that quote. Yeah. Case in fucking point.
Happened to Red on the Discord. Therefore, whatever happens, it's the parent's fault, and NuxTaku is not liable. That is simply not how it works.
That's not how that
consent
works,
is only required because the Patreon...
Okay, yeah, I mean, Nikandros is going to explain it, but I'll also fucking explain it as well. So, again, it's a 3-pronged sort of system. Now, as Nikandros himself has said, right, and he is correct here, it is the parent's primary responsibility for them to take action and sort of essentially check up on what their kid is engaging with in terms of content or whatever. Obviously, that's not always going to be the expectation constantly, right? The parents themselves are also busy. They have to earn money in order to put food on the table so the kid can fucking survive, right? That's also a thing as well. That's a part of the responsibilities of the parent, right? And it's becoming much more difficult for them to be able to have that fucking responsibility as a parent, considering the current economic sort of systems and economic paradigm that we currently find ourselves under. However, it is still primarily speaking the responsibility of the parent. However, if we are talking about social media platforms and a lot of these platforms in general, it is also the responsibility of the platform itself, but also the creators, who tend to be adults for the most part, who also need to take responsibility in ensuring that minors do not engage in some potentially terrible fucking sussy fucking actions. That is also another thing that is fucking consistent, right? But NuxTaku has made it very clear that this motherfucker wants to take absolutely no responsibility for any of his actions whatsoever.
Terms of service is a legal contract, and minors cannot enter into contracts without parental consent. Patreon is not actually verifying the age of the user in any way, so there's no actual substantiation of Red or any other minor having the consent of their parents to pledge money to NuxTaku. This line of text is Patreon trying to limit their legal liability, even if we equate the possession of a credit card with an implicit age verification. NuxTaku failed to ensure that...
However, here's the thing. It doesn't matter necessarily, and I think Nikandros also covers that himself. Getting a credit card is, of course, not the only way for a minor to be basically able to get on, say, a Patreon or othering sort of like potential sussy fucking content or whatever. I believe you can be a teenager and have a credit card. You can be a teenager with a bank account, which I find to be particularly strange. But yeah, I had a bank account when I was like 13, I think, for example. Because I could start building early credit, blah, 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 shit like that. But yeah, I don't know why minors can have bank accounts, but, you know, here we are. They can. But yes, minors can have bank accounts. They can have debit cards. They can not have credit cards, I believe. I believe credit cards are specifically 18 plus. But they can have a debit card, and they can have a bank account, and there are quite a few minors who definitely have, like, you know, bank accounts and whatnot.
Users on his Discord join through Patreon. You need to be 18 to have a credit card, but in many countries, children as young as 13 can have debit cards. They could have also used a prepaid card or even stolen their parents' credit card to make the single dollar purchase to access the server. The disappearance of a single dollar is pretty hard to notice. Again, a child joining the server was totally foreseeable. The Patreon terms of service doesn't clear NuxTaku of wrongdoing. It is actually the total opposite. If you know that you...
And actually, yeah, that's a good point there by Nikandros. It unironically makes him look worse. Because again, Patreon, because that was the initial argument that he was saying. It's like, well, Patreon says you have to be 18 plus. It's like, well, yes, technically speaking, what you were saying there, NuxTaku, is correct. Problem is that the kid can lie. The kid can also get a prepaid card. They can have a fucking debit card. They can have a bank account. There are ways around that, right? And as Patreon themselves have also said, for the fact that, you know, they're doing this because they're being, they have to make sure they stay legally liable, for example, right? Yeah, Cash App. Listen, Clay, there's tons of differing ways that we can, like, point to consistently, right? Tons of differing methods. But there's also, like, the reason why specifically Patreon is doing that is to make sure that they are not legally liable for getting kids to sign up on fucking contracts. Because if you join a fucking Patreon, technically speaking, that's a fucking contract that you're signing, right? And kids are not allowed to sign contracts unless they have parental fucking supervision and parental guidance saying, yes, I'm allowing my child in order to sign up on this fucking contract, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, it's fine, technically speaking. But the thing is that kids lie sometimes. Listen, as Sundowner himself said, kids are cruel and they tend to lie a lot. And Sundowner is very, very in tune with his inner fucking child. Fucking Metal Gear Solid Revengeance Beam aside, kids have fucking lied before in order to be able to get access to, shall we say, more adult fucking content. This is a thing that fucking happens, and which is why it is consistently said it is a three-pronged sort of system of responsibility. And for whatever reason, NuxTaku wants to do literally everything possible to skirt any form of that responsibility. I wonder why he might be doing that. Yeah, he's doing that because he's making money.
You have minors in your audience, Patreon's policies instruct you to inform them that they need parental consent to place pledges. Did NuxTaku ever do this? No, but when he created his Patreon account, he agreed that he would. He also agreed that his Patreon benefits would comply with Patreon's community guidelines.
Which is, again, a part of, if you are making a Patreon, you do have to agree to the fucking TOS. That is the point of signing up for a TOS. I don't think NuxTaku understands what a TOS, though, is. I'm gonna be honest.
The Discord access was a benefit, so therefore, NuxTaku agreed to keep the Discord's contents in line with these guidelines. So what does that entail? NuxTaku was not an 18+ creator, so he agreed to keep all 18+ content off his Patreon Discord. He agreed there wouldn't be any promotion of self-harm, no gore material, no lolicon content, and absolutely no grooming. If Patreon actively reinforced their terms of service, NuxTaku would have been banned from the platform in 2018. So NuxTaku explicitly agreed he wouldn't have any of the things on his Patreon Discord that harmed Red. He agreed to shoulder that responsibility in order to access Patreon services, and then completely neglected them. Let's pretend none of that matters. Let's pretend NuxTaku had explicit consent from Red's parents to not only let Red into the server, they also consented to Nux creating the NSFW channel for them, and to all the things that Alan did. That wouldn't matter, because parents cannot consent to someone abusing their child. I am not a lawyer, but even in the legal realm, the terms of a contract cannot override the law. If you send gore to a minor on a Discord server, that's a crime, even if you had consent from the child's parents. I don't know whether NuxTaku is actually civilly or criminally liable for something here, but...
that's gonna be a tough sell, to be honest. You can make the argument that he's very, criminally negligent. I mean, there's an argument there. I don't know if someone's going to take up the case. I don't think anyone's going to really take up the case because, again, NuxTaku is a content creator who has probably a lot of fucking money. I don't think really a lawsuit's going to be leading to much of anything. I don't think it's honestly worthwhile to pursue, to be quite honest. There's an argument that you can make for sure, but it's probably... I don't think it's really going to sort of, not check out, or really be as effective as people might say.
Parental consent does not grant him any kind of immunity if his actions on the server constituted a crime. However you slice it, if the only thing protecting a child from being groomed in your small Discord community is their parents stopping them from joining it in the first place, what does that say about you and your community? It sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? But it's basically what NuxTaku said in his defense.
Parents need to make sure that their kids aren't logging into 18+ servers. You know? It's awful. Don't get...
Again, like I said before, Nux, but there's also responsibility that you also have to shoulder as well. It's not just... It's not only just the parents, right? Parents have the primary responsibility. That is correct. But guess what? You also have responsibility as well, dude.
Don't get me wrong, but that's that.
If you let your kids around me and they get groomed, that's on you.
I'm not sure if you ever heard of the Playboy channel. That's a premium cable and satellite channel. Is that back in the day that kids would just subscribe to these channels either by phone or charging it, and also pornographic magazines back in the day. There's also accessing pornographic content for a video rental store in the adult section. Yep, that's a very, very good point there, Clay. Absolutely. If Nux didn't post anything directly, no prosecutor would bother bringing charges. But if a parent wants to take things up, he could absolutely be sued in civil court on it. Well, that's if a parent wants to fucking do that, right? So, I don't know. Red's parents could theoretically fucking do it, but he'd have to tell his parents, and they'd have to be interested in that sort of, position here, but whatever. Yeah.
You. Also, how dare you slander me as a pedophile? To prevent what happened to Red, all NuxTaku had to do was to have an 18+ only rule. Clearly communicate that Discord was 18+ in his plugs, and tell people to report any minors to him. Red would have been instantly caught and banned. This is very basic stuff, but it was too much to ask from NuxTaku. One of his own moderators described his management of the server with the words, absolute neglect. Just to repeat it one more time, I'm not complaining that Nux didn't do enough to keep kids out of his Patreon Discord server. The complaint is that Nux didn't do anything at all, and he's now blaming Red's parents for letting them onto an 18+ server.
Again, and I've said this before, and I'll say this again. This is a consistent pattern of behavior from a lot of these dumbass motherfuckers. At any point in time where they can have to take any form of responsibility for any of their sort of contact or behavior, they never will. This is a consistent pattern of behavior from a lot of these fucking guys. Never will conservatives ever take responsibility for any of their behaviors. They are very, 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 very fucking weaselly. Very, very weaselly.
When there were no indications or warnings of it being an 18+ server.
Parents need to make sure that their kids aren't logging into 18+ servers.
The most disgusting thing about Nux blaming Red's parents is that he's not only denying his own liability, he's denying Alan's liability as well. He's the person with the most potential to catch criminal charges here. Alan was actively sending gore and NSFW content to Red and said they were...
And like I said before, the reason why Alan Weebus was doing that specifically is because his dumbass is in Romania and the age of consent within Romania is 15. Red, that's not, rather, Alan Weebus, that's not how that fucking shit works, you dumbass. But whatever. Because guess what? If there were criminal fucking charges that were brought against fucking Alan Weebus, It would be litigated within the jurisdiction of the state that specifically Red lives in. And guess what? There is... Any of the Americans in chat, is there any state within the Union that has an age of consent that is 15 years of age? Because as far as I know, there is not.
Doing it because Red was underage. He felt so comfortable doing it that he openly told other members that he was sending these things to Red. NuxTaku could have said it's Alan's fault, he could have denounced him, but no. He chose to make the evidence of Alan's crimes inaccessible, and he deleted some of it. If you think Alan's behavior...
Ooh, very, very much so in line with the fucking Hasan system. Constantly hide, avoid taking accountability, I guess, like, in the terms of NuxTaku, instead of name call, it'd be neglect instead. But whatever, like... This is a constant pattern of behavior here with fucking Nux. If he can avoid taking responsibility for any of his fucking actions, oh, he will. Oh, he will.
Qualifies him as a groomer or a pedophile. He certainly made himself look like one. And if he is one, then NuxTaku's actions to defend himself have also protected that sort of person from consequences. If NuxTaku hadn't placed all of the blame on Red's parents, he would still be on the hook for not only letting Alan stay on his server, he was shouting him out in his videos and featuring him on his podcast. He literally said that the $1 entry fee was worth it to join the Discord to meet this guy.
If you don't know who Alan Weebus is, oh, trust me, $1 to the Patreon is worth it.
And guess what? This video can be very, very easily referred to, can be very, very easily searched up. It's all time-stamped, you can easily get that, and lawyers can certainly do that fucking work. It would not take very, very long. This video is only an hour and 15 minutes.
Meet the guy.
What kind of culture do you think these endorsements encouraged? What kind of message do you think it sent to Red? Think about that for a second. According to one of Alan's old friends who reached out to me, NuxTaku was definitely friends with Alan at some point, and he wanted Alan to be his editor. They even recalled Alan possibly having seen a photo of NuxTaku's face. Again, this is one of Alan's friends saying this, so, you know. The only time NuxTaku told Alan don't is this one. It's him telling Alan not to bring his alt accounts onto the server. That is how early NuxTaku knew about the possibility of people joining the server without going through Patreon. It would remain unfixed for years. So far, NuxTaku has just been lying about the server, lying about his past, lying about my video, conflating me with Hasan, playing dumb, shifting blame, and deleting evidence. It is quite possibly one of the worst responses ever.
Just to be clear, again, I'm really sorry if any bad thing happened to any person in any of my servers. Obviously, that's disgusting and horrible. However, it was an 18+ server. That's one. And two, also important to mention, this...
Yeah, again, NuxTaku is fucking lying here. It was not an 18+ server. You never indicated it as an 18+ server. Just because, again, you have to be 18 in order to be able to join a Patreon server does not mean the server itself is inherently 18+. That's not how any of this works, Nux.
Not safe for work tab that ended up this channel, this not safe for work channel, which again, I regret. I don't think I should have ever done that. That was definitely a mistake on my part. I'm not trying to say it wasn't. But
oh, sure,
2018,
Nux.
8 years ago, I guess didn't think about it clearly enough. This server was removed, this channel with the not safe for work thing was removed really quickly after it was made. I think, if I remember correctly.
It was not. In the private Patreon Discord server, it was never removed. In the public Discord server, yes, it got removed after about 6 days, as per Nikandros' initial fucking video. Again, Nux is lying here.
The NSFW channel on the public Discord server, which you made 16+, by the way, was removed within a week.
You are 1000% accurate there, Armor and Quills. That is, unironically, Nux's whole fucking argument. I don't have, I'm not responsible, because I didn't know how fucking Discord works. It's like, good luck fucking arguing that in the court of law there, buddy. Any fucking lawyer looking at this is going to salivate and say, ooh, easy fucking money here.
But the NSFW channel on the Patreon Discord existed since 2018 until a couple days after my video came out. But anyway, so what if it happened in 2018? That's the reason I compared it to the Ava Tyson Discord.
If you guys can think back to the Ava Tyson allegations, which Nikandros kind of touches on in this video, when we were dealing with, having to put our brains together and look at, the density of messages and these kids saying what their ages were during the Ava stuff, we were looking at that and going, well, it was close enough to these kids saying, what their ages are and them engaging with this material that Ava Tyson more likely than not must have known. If you compare, like the density of messages and these people interacting with like Ava Tyson or Jimmy at the time, it is much worse. It is like magnitudes worse with this NuxTaku server. It's a much smaller group because you did have to pay, albeit like $1 or $2. It's a much smaller group, and pretty much everyone in that Discord.
Now I don't remember exact. I'm not 100% in tune with the Ava Tyson situation. Mostly the biggest criticisms that I have of the Ava Tyson situation in terms of all of the people who engaged with that sort of drama is the fact that people were being highly fucking transphobic about Ava Tyson, but still, and we're essentially trying to use the fact that she was trans, or they were trans. I don't know what exact fucking pronouns that Ava Tyson has. So in that particular instance, it left a rather fucking sour taste in my mouth. But no, what Ava Chris Tyson did was absolutely fucking terrible, and it is reasonable, absolutely, for the fact that they, I don't remember exactly, saw some fucking consequences for the fact that they were engaging in, well, the potential for fucking early porn introduction to minors as well, which is the exact same fucking shit that NuxTaku did. In fact, you can really make the argument that NuxTaku and the Ava Chris Tyson situation is very, very fucking similar. NuxTaku wanted to collaborate with fucking Shadman. Ava Chris Tyson has collaborated with fucking Shadman and has had associations with fucking Shadman. Same with fucking NuxTaku. Both of these guys had associations with fucking Shadman and had fucking Discord servers, private Discord servers that were open to fucking minors, but still had a bunch of like NSFW sort of like content and sections within it. Very, very fucking similar stories there. But guess what? Since NuxTaku is not an honest actor, he absolutely leapt on the opportunity to use the Ava Chris Tyson situation, to hop on a fucking trend in order to essentially do the exact same thing that a lot of the commentary channels were doing, was also to shit on Ava Chris Tyson as well for fucking clout and views and money. Because again, NuxTaku has zero fucking principles.
Seems to recognize and address Red as a child, making jokes about it, commenting about it, and shortly after, they're talking about Red or talking about their age or anything like this, NuxTaku is showing up. Nikandros in his video further shows that they were in Discord calls together. It gets to a point where it is very, very difficult to give Nux benefit of the doubt that he just didn't know what was going on.
Who was a vocal critic of Chris Tyson in 2024 and called her a pedophile over this? NuxTaku. Who is 5 months older than Chris Tyson? NuxTaku. What's the excuse here? It was okay to destroy Chris Tyson's career in 2024 for something she did in 2018, but in 2026, it's too late for that. If that's the case, why is NuxTaku using clips of Hasan Piker from 2018? What exactly is the standard here? NuxTaku goes after Hasan for videos he made 13 years ago.
Oh, there is no standard. Because at the very least, after the investigations and everything sort of happened, Ava Chris Tyson acknowledged fault. Nux never has. Because again, with NuxTaku, we are talking about someone who is just a complete fucking grifter. This is an individual, NuxTaku of course, who has no standards, no beliefs, fundamentally speaking, is a complete and utter fucking charlatan. There is no fucking level that Nux will not fucking stoop to if it means that he can make money from it.
GDC, old enough to count, old enough to mount Hasan Piker. That's right, bro.
Bro, what about Hasan? Hasan fucking bad. Bro, I don't know how many times this has to be said. This is a video of Hasan from 13 years ago where he was playing a fucking like frat bro character because he used to be a guy who was in a frat and he was playing a frat bro character. Like, come on, Nux. You unironically did EPI. You did early porn introduction to a bunch of minors that you were explicitly advertising your fucking Patreon. Yeah, like your, not your Patreon server, but your fucking YouTube channel was explicitly advertised and geared towards. Like, he's such a fucking liar, man.
That's it. And this is coming from Hasan, known for saying, if she's old enough to count, she's old enough to mount.
Come back again next week when we discuss the legendary question of all time. Old enough to count, old enough to mount? Question mark?
That's Hasan. Definitely listen to his moral.
Yeah, I wonder why NuxTaku's never going to talk about that particular bit showing up where it says the answer is no. Like that's a no. Just like I really do fucking hate this motherfucker, man.
Moral guidelines.
Hasan is playing a character in these videos. This episode was specifically supposed to be more offensive.
And by the way, this is also the exact same argument I believe Nikandros also brought up in his first part as well.
There's been a lot of reviews about how bro tip is not offensive enough, so I decided I'm gonna kick it up a notch.
Even in character, when the things Hasan is saying don't represent his own beliefs, he's merely asking the question, after which a big no is shown. So not only is NuxTaku fine with judging people for things they said more than 8 years ago, he's fine with lying about them too.
And then you're saying the thing that I've done that you consider to be completely unacceptable is like a satirical fucking an attempt, a shitty attempt at satire that.
So the shitty attempt of satire he's referring to is his bro tips past, where he had comments like, if she's old enough to count, she's old enough to mount.
Like again, literally at the end of that fucking goddamn satire, it says the answer is no. Nux, do you understand what the word no means? Guys, hold on. Revelation. I don't think Nux knows what the term no means.
That's not pedophile behavior. I don't know what is.
NuxTaku has twisted this one joke from 13 years ago into some regular catchphrase that Hasan would say back then. Now, please note that I'm simply deriving NuxTaku's standards from the standards he holds other people to. It doesn't matter whatever else Hasan might have done or what your opinion about him might be. Using this quote as an expression of Hasan's genuine belief is just misinformation. And the fact that NuxTaku feels so strongly about it ties very nicely to his Patreon Discord.
By the way, for those of you that don't know, Hasan Piker, largest leftist political streamer in America, has been doing streams talking about back in the day, back when he was a wee baby at the wee young age of 24. He was saying if she's old enough to count, she's old enough to mount. Right? If she bleeds, she breathes.
What the fuck? What? Wait, what? Hold on. Did Hasan ever fucking say that? That is very, very weird. Listen, again, if Hasan wanted to go with like some fucking defamation, some slanderous fucking goddamn lawsuits against you, Nux, he probably could if he wanted to. He won't, and I don't think it's a good idea for him to do that. He could have a potential argument there if you keep saying stupid fuck shit like this. Which is why I really despise these people, because, again, they open themselves up constantly to potentially criminal fucking behavior because of their schizophrenic fucking derangement that they have specifically on people like Hasan, for example. Which is just why, like, a lot of this shit is just not a good idea, and it's not very fucking effective propaganda either. It's just like, man, guys, like, what are we fucking doing here, man? What are we doing? What are we doing?
He's been saying shit like this, but he was 24, he was just a baby.
In 2018, NuxTaku was 22. And when NuxTaku was 22, Alan Weaver said these same words right in front of his face on the server.
If that...
You love to fucking see it, don't you, folks? Oof. Alan Weebus said the exact same fucking shit. Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, nice meme. You should have a problem with this then, Nux. But you're okay with shouting out Alan Weebus all the time. Just saying.
That's not pedophile behavior. I don't know what is.
After Alan said that lollies are very mountable, Nux reacted, "You are terrifying, Alan," and moved on. Within 30 minutes, Alan is talking to Red about the age of consent being 15, and all the gross stuff he sends to Red specifically because they were 15. This was on the...
Again, that's not how age of consent laws work. Alan, if Red's parents or Red wants to hold you civilly liable, they could. They could. They absolutely could, if they wanted to.
The 8th of October. What does NuxTaku say 12 days later?
If you don't know who Alan Weebus is, trust me, $1 to the Patreon is worth it to meet the guy.
This was already in my original video, but NuxTaku did not offer an explanation in his response. You witnessed a person saying something that you believe counts as pedophile behavior, even when it's said in the context of satire, and you gave them a shout-out, and explicitly told your mixed-age audience to pay you money to meet them. This is one of those moments where you absolutely need to respond properly, and clear up how it's even possible that this happened. At the time, NuxTaku had 250,000 subscribers. You would naturally be careful about who you shout out and endorse. If you saw them make these jokes...
But of course, as we all know, and has Nikandros himself has gone into very, very well, NuxTaku is not careful. Because again, he's been making a lot of money doing this stuff. So that's why he has zero fucking standards.
How did you justify that decision? Whatever the answer may be, NuxTaku is once again holding others to higher standards. He's willing to make these attacks despite his actions being far worse. There is no date of expiration on when you can judge people for the things they've done. This could have happened 13 years ago, and I would still have a perfectly legitimate reason to bring it up. The things that happened on NuxTaku's Patreon Discord server make it clear that NuxTaku has clearly known since 2018 that he has minors in his audience, and he should have learned from this experience that if you don't actively exclude them, they are willing to join NSFW communities and talk about NSFW content with adults, even past paywalls. It completely shatters any plausible deniability that NuxTaku didn't realize that he was pushing his content to an audience of children. It makes it clear that all of this early introduction behavior was totally inexcusable. The pivot to hentai content in 2019, totally inexcusable. Leaving the Reddit unmoderated, totally inexcusable. The email competitions, totally inexcusable. There is some improvement with the...
Like, unironically, he had, like, multiple content creators and fucking people who were participating in these dumbass fucking, like, Rule 34 fucking tournaments. Like... Nux, if anyone wanted to hold you fucking liable for your actions, they could. That's the problem, Nux. That's why this stuff is bad, Nux. Which is why, again, you have to have a proper response to a lot of this stuff, Nux.
a public Discord in 2022, since it actually launched with a team of moderators, and it actually had a minimum age rule. But in April of 2021, NuxTaku's plan for it was still to leave it totally unmoderated.
I'm thinking of starting a new Patreon, a new Discord just for all you guys, just to spam your shiz. It's gonna be like borderline not moderated insanity. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Remember when I said that the Discord predator catfishing video, where Nux acknowledges that predators are a problem on Discord, was released in September of 2021? That was actually a re-release of a video from February. So while NuxTaku is laughing about how funny it would be to leave his new Discord borderline unmoderated, he already knows about the problem of predators on that platform. If not for whoever convinced NuxTaku that he can't just leave his Discord unmoderated, it would have been a do-over of the Patreon Discord on an even larger scale. For about 6 days, it kind of was. So Nux clearly brought up...
Yep, and we've mentioned that earlier as well. Yeah, because NuxTaku, again, he just takes no responsibility for any of his actions. That's the problem with this, again. And he'll deflect and not really address with any of this. It's very, very fucking stupid.
The fact that these things happened 8 years ago in bad faith. He's totally willing to judge and condemn other people for things they've done that are way older than that. If we apply the same analysis to his other defenses, we quickly realize that they were all made in bad faith as well. He does not genuinely believe the things that he's saying. If we grant NuxTaku that the Patreon terms of service requiring parental consent means that he's not responsible for anything that happened to a minor on his Patreon Discord, that position does not mesh with his other beliefs.
Just recently, you had the implied nudity meta on Twitch, where they allowed artistic nudity, which is, again, still mind-blowing to me that they even thought this was a good idea.
Again, like, this is just... the constant fucking hypocrisy burns, as NuxTaku will do consistently, because, again, no standards for any of his behaviors constantly.
Yeah, honey, 13+ gaming website, by the way.
What's the problem? Look at the Twitch terms of service. Minors need parental permission to use it, so it's an inherently 18+ website. If parents are not comfortable with their kids watching this stuff, it's their...
Then that is their fault. Again, because, again, that's how... you act criminally sort of responsible and liable. That's how it works, Nux. But then again, listen, rules for me and not for thee when it comes to NuxTaku.
Fault if they let them watch it. What does it matter if the Twitch app comes pre-installed with your smart TV, and because it's 13+, it's super easy for kids to access on any computer with internet access, like the computers at their school, their library, or their friend's place, where you can't supervise them. If following the TOS was a principle that NuxTaku genuinely believed in, he would not only have to apologize for attacking Twitch for 5 years for no reason, he'd have a far easier time defending his past.
Yeah, I do regret making lewd content in the past.
What are you regretting?
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, again, in reality, no, he doesn't. Like, he's a massive fucking liar, man. He's weaselly about it. That's, like, the most annoying part about all of this, to be quite honest, is the fact that he's a massive fucking weasel about it as well. Very, very, like, dishonest, shameful fucking behavior here from fucking Nux. And that's, like, honestly, the part about this that is the most fucking irritating. Just shameful fucking behavior here.
The YouTube terms of service says that minors need parental consent to use the service. NuxTaku might have used all kinds of tags, brands, and properties to maximize the odds that his content would reach an underage audience. However, just like on Patreon, the terms of service says that the parents of the kids watching his videos must have consented to it. So NuxTaku should have absolutely no regrets whatsoever. But for some reason, he still does. NuxTaku does not articulate this distinction, but Patreon has a paywall, whereas YouTube and Twitch don't. If we steelman his defense and shift the focus from the terms of service to the paywall, which we then equate with an implicit age verification, Nux's old YouTube content and the rants about Twitch hot tub streamers would no longer be sufficient to demonstrate hypocrisy. Assuming all of that in his favor, and I'm literally inventing more arguments in favor of Nux to take down, it wouldn't save him because NuxTaku did not merely criticize Twitch for exposing minors to bikini ladies.
Yes, because again, like, it wouldn't really matter at this point in time. Like, in every sort of way that NuxTaku can be essentially, metaphorically speaking, dead to rights, he's completely fucking dead to rights in a metaphorical fucking sense.
Single freaking ASMR streamer on Twitch is linking their OnlyFans because ultimately Twitch is a massive funnel to that stuff, and Twitch knows that. Most of Twitch these days is a literal funnel to OnlyFans.
Twitch is funneling children to OnlyFans.
Again, and even here's the thing, that argument is just so fucking dog shit and fucking terrible. Like, yeah, Twitch is an OnlyFans sort of funnel. Dog... You're the one who unironically is doing all the early porn introduction to all the fucking goddamn minors that you had, knowingly had, within your fucking YouTube videos, right? And that you advertise explicitly to your fucking YouTube videos. All of these 18 plus, fucking booby streamers and whatnot, they indicate constantly on their streams itself that it is an 18 plus fucking environment. Now, obviously, Twitch has those parental sort of controls that exist. Same with a lot of warnings for minors who may potentially stumble onto those fucking streams. And the streamers themselves constantly make those indications that it is an 18 plus environment. If some fucking minor decides to go through all of that, What are they supposed to do? What is the platform supposed to do? At that point in time, they have done everything possible in terms of their side of the responsibility, right? They've literally done it all. It's not necessarily going to be their fault that someone still managed to slip through the cracks anyways, because that's how that actually works in reality, Nux.
Fans. In case you didn't hear him specify children, here's another clip from November of 2025.
In the past, they've made plenty of questionable bans and unbans, like having full-blown penetrative sex on stream was a 3-day ban.
Twitch is hentai, as a very wise man once said. It really is just a soft to hardcore site that's used to funnel children into actual hardcore sites like OnlyFans. That and terrorism. It's literally tits and terrorism on this website.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, tits and fucking terrorism. It's fucking just like low IQ, like very, very fucking stupid. Jesus Christ. I have no idea if Kick and Rumble have parental controls. I don't know. Who knows?
How on earth has it not been swatted?
Patreon accepts 13+ users. OnlyFans doesn't. It's an 18+, adults-only platform. So when NuxTaku goes after Twitch women, he does not care about the terms of service. He does not care about...
And again, also, do the fucking Twitch women have their OnlyFans being explicitly... their fan sites being explicitly linked to within their fucking Twitch channels? No. They will certainly have a link tree, right? To all their fucking links, which will include their fucking fan sites, right? But the thing is that those are multiple degrees of separation and removal, right? If the kid is wholeheartedly fucking absolutely committed to wanting to join some booby streamer's fucking OnlyFans, what is the booby streamer exactly supposed to do at that point in time? Because again, OnlyFans is already an 18+ sort of fucking website. Same with Fansly and all the other fucking fan sites. They make it very, very clear in their TOS that, again, they are explicitly fucking 18+ websites. What is exactly are they supposed to do if there is some fucking minor who decides to go through all of that, right? At that point in time, it becomes the responsibility of the fucking parent, not of the creator and not of the platform itself. Then it lies on the parent to make sure that they are monitoring what their kid is fucking looking at and also signing up for.
Parental responsibility. He does not care about paywalls, and he does not care that parents are not checking the transaction history of their children's debit cards, or that kids might steal their parents' credit cards. He holds the Twitch platform and these streamers directly accountable for funneling minors to a paid adult platform. I'm trying to hold NuxTaku accountable for funneling a minor through a paywall on a 13+ platform. So in the best case scenario, when we are steel manning his defense, NuxTaku is holding these Twitch hot tub streamers to a higher standard than I am holding him in my video. It's almost like every single standard I'm trying to hold this guy up to is a standard he has held other people to. If you make videos featuring...
This is, again, and I'm going to just listen, Nikandros, this is a consistent pattern of behavior here by conservatives, right? Listen, all of the highest standards must be applied to thee, but to me, I'm supposed to take responsibility for any of my... Of course not. Why do I have to take responsibility for my actions? Because again, we're dealing with a fucking hack here. The only times I've heard a streamer had an OF was when chuds have tried to slut shame them for it. That's a consistent pattern of behavior as well with chuds. It's a very good point there, Armor and Quills.
Suggestive material of characters that are popular with children, like Rule 34. Children are going to be watching that content.
This is insane. It's insane that there's a channel that's out here just grinding this stuff. And you know who's watching this, right? You know who's watching this. It's kids. It's kids that never figured out about Twitch meta yet. It's kids too young for the Twitch meta.
Then he uploads that video on his channel with no added censorship.
You also have to ask yourself the evidence here, right? About what evidence is there that a bunch of kids are automatically always engaging with a lot of booby streamers, right? Again, as has been said before, there are indicators and fucking warnings and responsibilities the content creators themselves also take in order to try to mitigate that as much as possible. You never did any of that, Nux, and that's what people are actively criticizing you for.
With this thumbnail and these tags in January of 2024. He also understands that the presence of adult content on a 13+ platform functions as a way for children to circumvent their parental controls and access 18+ content.
As you know, whenever someone says Twitch meta, it's just women on Twitch finding new ways to sexualize themselves and get mostly underage people that can't log on to porn sites.
Mostly underage people that can't log on to porn sites.
Very, very funny that NuxTaku is saying that explicitly when Nikandros himself has also displayed comments on NuxTaku fucking goddamn videos of them unironically saying, hey, I'm 14 or 13 or whatever. What is the fucking sauce, aka what is the source for this fucking goddamn video? And guess what? There would be people within his community providing said sources to explicit fucking material and content. Again, he's lying.
You know.
To beat it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
What is wrong with you, bro? Jesus Christ. You're saying this about fucking minors, apparently. And we all know that your audience maybe was filled with them. Fucking freak, man. Jesus Christ, man.
Okay, fucking gross. But did you notice the absence of parental responsibility being mentioned? It wasn't mentioned in 2021, 2024, or in November of 2025. What about this clip?
Talking about OnlyFans is an entire meta application that has existed for years.
100%.
And I don't know.
Hi, TYBS. That fucking freak who has no standards in any of this whatsoever.
Well, maybe it has something to do with people like Morgpie trying to bend Twitch's rules so she can show her boobs to 13-year-olds and try to get them addicted to pornography.
Yeah, man. Everyone that streams.
Again, like, you have to think about this, right? What is the... Because there are Twitch analytics, right? You can see the age of people, for example, right? If I look through my YouTube analytics, for example, and I've done this before, I've looked through my YouTube analytics, 0% are 13 to 17. 0 fucking percent. I have no fucking minors in my audience. It's all fucking 18 plus. So you can fucking check that, right? I can only assume what fucking NuxTaku's like YouTube analytics looks like.
Streams on Twitch is quite literally bringing people to a platform where this crazy shit is happening. I'm just saying. No, this is insanity. It's insanity that this is allowed on Twitch. Sexual content. Again, I always said this. Twitch is just tits and terrorists.
So we are again holding the hot tub streamers on Twitch that are advertising their OnlyFans directly accountable. No mention of parental responsibility, terms of service, allergies, bone spurs, or fibromyalgia. This guy has been ranting about the Twitch meta since early 2021, and he never mentions anything about parental responsibility. He does not even expect to get that response because he knows it's stupid. It's a totally worthless deflection of responsibility that he doesn't allow anyone else to make. After my video came out, and he's the one being criticized, after 5 years of ignoring it, parental responsibility suddenly matters. However, I believe I may have forgotten to mention something.
Incredible.
NuxTaku's response to me came out on the 13th of February. The clip I just showed you was 3 days later. 3 days...
We're dealing with a grifter here, people. So not only is he a liar, not only is he fucking completely and utterly full of it, he also just lies about it consistently. He's just a liar, man. Constant fucking liar, bro. It's... oh, man. It's incredible, man.
After defending himself, parental responsibility, terms of service, or paywalls no longer matter. This guy is a total liar. He doesn't believe anything he says. Ironically, the guy screaming about lies, defamation, and bad faith is himself the pinnacle of lies, defamation, and bad faith. Now, I've used phrasing in this video many times, which could be interpreted as me saying that NuxTaku knowingly targeted children with 18+ content for some kind of malicious reason. I have not seen a smoking gun for NuxTaku wanting to corrupt the youth, or that he's getting off to the idea of kids getting exposed to 18+ content through his videos.
No,
maybe that sounds insane to you. I mean, why would he tag Mr. Beast if he didn't want children to watch his content? Well, Mr. Beast is massively popular with children, that's true, but it's also a massive channel. There is another explanation for all of these things. NuxTaku wanted to make more money, and...
But yeah, let's be honest here. We all know why in okay, I'm willing to be a bit more dishonest in comparison to Nikandros. Because he's being a bit good faith here, right? I don't give a shit. I'm willing to be bad faith to someone like NuxTaku because he himself has proven to never be good faith whatsoever. He wanted to explicitly advertise his channel to minors. He wanted to do that. It's very, very clear that's exactly what he wants to do with his tags, what he wanted to do in order to, again, with a lot of his fucking content, who he wanted to sort of cater to in terms of his content, because like I've said before, during those days in YouTube, it was very, very highly sort of suggested to, or rather algorithmically beneficial to advertise to fucking minors. You would get a lot of algorithm sort of benefits for it, right? Which is why NuxTaku explicitly would fucking do that. Explicitly. That's the fucking problem here.
ethical concerns were not an obstacle. It's actually very easy to facilitate harm on a massive scale when all you see are numbers on a screen, and the more harm you do, the more money you have flowing to your account. I might be totally tunnel-visioned, but at this point, for me to call NuxTaku a pedophile, I'd basically need to see him admit it. Would NuxTaku ever give this much charity to someone else?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's not like Twitch that literally knows that it is a giant marketing scheme to get kids addicted to porn. Like, that is the Twitch meta. It's not the YouTube meta.
And where's the evidence for that being Twitch's motivation? Is he just looking at Twitch's behavior and assuming that's the case?
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. We are dealing with NuxTaku here. He is incredibly fucking dishonest. Yes. That's exactly what he fucking thinks.
If so, I would be 100% justified in saying the same thing about NuxTaku, assuming we're judging him by his own standards. But I'm not going to do that because he has no standards. He will say whatever he can to maintain an audience and to make money. So what else do we got?
Now, I find it ironic that people like Hasan...
Oh my god.
Hasan is calling me a pedophile for things he...
Yeah, we've done this. We've taken a look at this fucking argument here. Just stupid. Fucking stupid. Maliciously using your tags to promote sexualized pornographic content to your viewers to mislead them. That is violating terms of service. Listen, we talked about this before, but him and Morgpie and a lot of these other fucking content creators that he pretends to fucking criticize so much, they are the exact fucking same. At least Morgpie is fucking honest about it, unlike NuxTaku, who is not honest about it.
He's done. All right.
NuxTaku complains about Hasan going on a podcast with the Anime Man.
Yeah, the Anime Man, and I think also Connor, and also Giguk, which is Trash Taste, right? Which I find very, very funny, because, again, the Anime Man is like a dude who said he has supported fucking Lolicon. Not a good guy, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I find it very, very... I think he's also changed on that stat, sort of, not stat, but on that stance before. I'd have to double check that. But again, NuxTaku had no problems with fucking introducing all this fucking goddamn like content to a bunch of minors, even though he himself does not really like engaging in that fucking content, which, you know, fair enough to NuxTaku. There you go. You've done the bare minimum. Good work, Nux. But that doesn't really change the fact that, again, the only reason why Nux is doing this in particular is to do some form of, like, a worthless fucking hypocrisy hunt. That's it. It's just constant fucking hypocrisy hunting.
And Giguk, who Nux claims are pro-lolly, and his evidence is a tweet from 2019. But there's more.
They have figurines of sexualized anime children on their broadcast.
I'm not exactly a fan of Aramanga Sensei, but...
Yeah, so Aramanga Sensei, for those of you that are unaware, it's a story about, I think she's like an 11-year-old girl that moved in with her stepbrother after her parents died or something, and they worked together to create child hentai or something.
It's like in episode 2, Sagiri's classmate Megumi comes to check on her because she isn't going to school, but dead ass, randomly mid-conversation, she just drops this.
Fucking anime is so weird, man, sometimes.
And keep in mind,
Japan, why are you the way that you are, man? 12 to 13-year-old talking about how much she loves dicks. What the fuck, man?
Pretty bad anime, I'm not gonna lie.
If NuxTaku was logged into his MyAnimeList account, you would see that he watched 8 out of 12 episodes and gave the show a 7 out of 10. So...
That's a little interesting there, Dux, isn't it?
So, after seeing this scene in episode 2, he continued watching for 6 more episodes and rated the show slightly higher than the average user.
The average
For
score.
reference, the Anime Man, one of the people that NuxTaku is accusing of being a lolicon here, rated it 2 out of 10.
I didn't even watch as many episodes as him. Oh my fucking lord. God, he's such a fucking liar, man.
Giguk, on the other hand, gave it a 10 out of 10.
Bro, what the fuck, man? Why are some of these people like this, bro? I just don't get it, dude. I don't get it. I don't get it.
You'll be hearing more about these guys in the part 2. The Anime Man might have been an open lolicon in 2019, but NuxTaku forgot to mention that back in the day, he proudly claimed to have inspired him, and Giguk, and many others, to create hentai review content. You see
Very, very, very fucking interesting there, Nux. So it turns out it was you who started the whole trend of doing hentai reviews on fucking YouTube this whole time. And all these motherfuckers around you who are saying,
it was a meta that they were following. PewDiePie did the exact same thing.
It was because it was a meta set by you, Nux. Hypocrisy, 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 hypocrisy. Hey, conservatives. This is what actual hypocrisy looks like.
See, NuxTaku wasn't following a meta back in the day.
You are known for pushing the limits of what is acceptable on YouTube.
He pushed the limits.
All of a sudden, Lord Nuxinor comes along with like an angelic choir in the background and introduces the YouTube scene to Giantioi. All of a sudden, blammo, lost pause, the anime man, heavenly controller, following the trend. Very cool, fam. I would do the same thing, even though this time.
He literally says he's the fucking trendsetter. Ooh, Nux! It looks like you guys can't use the excuse that that was the meta at the time because you fucking set the meta, buddy. Very, very convenient that he's also using the fucking happy merchant gif as well. Ooh, it's just really, really fucking... And by the way, this is how it was listed, this particular gif of his stupid, dumbass, old PNG model. Very, very fucking convenient here, Nux. You're certainly playing into the stereotypes all the fucking time. God, it's fucking... It's incredible, man. It really is incredible to me.
Time I'm the trend setter. Feels pretty good, not gonna lie.
He was the trendsetter.
I mean, I've inspired countless others. No, the anime man, heavily.
He inspired countless others. And
he said he inspired countless others. Mentioned the anime man as well. Hypocrite, man. Just a God, the weaselly little liar.
That includes Giguk as well.
The fact that at least I'm convincing myself, inspired Giguk's video, I must say I'm honored. I've been watching Giguk all the way back when, long before I started my channel.
But again, that's for the part 2. To summarize Nux's response, he deploys the whole Hasan system at me, as he sees it's about me ruining his public perception with things that he himself said/did, and then immediately lies about me while still scared to say my name. Cinema.
Very, very, very fucking convenient there, of course, of NuxTaku. He's just a liar, man. Everything he does, and I've said this consistently myself as well, he's only doing it for fucking money. That's literally it.
So, Tectone, how do you feel about NuxTaku now?
Nux is a fucking Jew creep, and that's facts.
Whoa, that's a bit unfair, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Yes it is.
All right.
No, it's not.
Good argument.
Whatever. See you later.
Shout out to Elon Musk, the ultimate swag champion of all time. Now, the serious question I have for Elon
Dude,
Musk
it's the bro of
is
the week.
this. How do you have the time to come up with this shit when women are probably tossing their salads your way faster than you can say Hyperloop in every single corner? You're a designated genius. You're a good-looking dude.
Whoa, 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 Hasan. What the fuck? You literally just were criticizing Elon Musk for being a trillionaire not that long ago? Seems rather hypocritical of you.
Happen to not be a fucking billionaire. Anyway, Elon, I admire your conquest in becoming the real-life Tony Stark without the creepy facial hair. And for that, you are our bro of the week.
Very, very good ending there by Nikandros, of course. But yeah, should be extremely fucking clear. NuxTaku is a liar. Fundamentally speaking, he's a grifter who only cares about one thing and one thing only, making fucking money. And that there's this incredibly incestuous incentive by a collection of dumbasses, of people who don't want to be held fucking liable, seemingly, for the fact that they are engaging in a lot of this content, and also a collection of fucking dipshits who are also all around NuxTaku, who seemingly have no problem whatsoever with any of the fucking behavior that Nux himself constantly fucking engages with. But then again, should we really be surprised by this whatsoever? We are talking about NuxTaku here, who is a weaselly little fucking liar who will constantly deflect blame and not take any responsibility for any of his fucking actions to essentially, you sort of come to the conclusions that this motherfucker did a bunch of early porn introduction. It is not inappropriate to call him a fucking groomer, because that's exactly what he fucking did, and how there's a bunch of dumbasses and morons all around him who are willing to circle the fucking goddamn wagons because they themselves have associations with Nux, who's a massive fucking goddamn channel with about 4 million subscribers between 2 channels and other followers as well across other fucking platforms, and they just do not want to get rid of that fucking association because it's all about the fucking money with these people. All of these people are fucking grifters and have, fundamentally speaking, no beliefs whatsoever. Constant pattern of behavior with all these conservative liars, grifters, and fucking dipshits. Don't think there's really much else to say besides that.